Just outside of Washington, D.C., technically in Landover, Maryland. Temperature in the low 50s. Rain is on the way as the Eagles and Redskins set to go here at FedEx Field. And the interesting news, about 5 hours ago, it broke on ESPN. Our Michael Smith first reporting. Donovan McNabb signing a 5-year contract extension with the Redskins. This was the last year of his deal. The deal's guaranteed for $10 million approximately. All this contract stuff we'll get to a little bit later on. But Susie Colbert has more on Mike Shanahan, the coach of the Redskins, and his reaction to it. Susie?
And I asked him the stark contrast between benching his quarterback a couple of weeks ago and now signing him to a new deal tonight. He said, well, that's football. The highest highs and the lowest lows, you fight through them. And he believes that it makes a huge statement with this being the start of the second half of the season, what he believes they can accomplish.
All right. Very intriguing plot twist that I don't think many people saw coming after McNabb was benched against Detroit 2 weeks ago. That's Jorick Calvin. He's back to receive the kickoff for the Eagles. We've won the toss and will receive. Graham Gano will kick. And off we go from Washington. Not much wind. Calvin Musk, the kickoff catch, has it at the 3. It will only get to the 12-yard line. Reed Doughty and Chris Wilson over there to make the play. Michael Vick starts 6th of the year, his second since injuring his ribs against the Redskins on October 3rd. John, what do we watch for with Vick?
Incredible production, running and passing. I have never seen Michael Vick play the position better. I expect Andy Reid to get Vick out on the perimeter. Bootlegs, sprint out passes to his left early in this game to get him started.
First play from about the 12, and there is Vick, as you talked about, John, rolling and launching downfield for Deshaun Jackson, who accelerates, caught the opening play, and all the way for a touchdown. 88 yards. Wow.
This Andy Reid did his homework. A full play-action bootleg to Michael Vick's left side, and they get Deshaun Jackson one-on-one deep. What a throw and catch.
We talked about it in the opening of this game, that the Eagles would try to get ahead early with a big play, get Deshaun Jackson down the field, use that incredible speed. What a throw by Michael Vick.
Sad Rocca, the puncher holds. David Akers kicks it. 18 seconds in, 7-0. Remember, those are the guys involved in the pregame altercation. Jackson right in the middle of it with LaRon Landry. There's a marker down at the back end of the extra point. Well, you know, Deshaun Jackson has made so many long plays, big plays from scrimmage for touchdown. But in a career of big plays from scrimmage, that's his longest, 88-yard touchdown reception. There you see from scrimmage
Personal
how
foul,
effective he's
grabbing
been.
the face mask. Defense number 23. A 15-yard penalty to be tacked on to the kickoff spot.
All right, let's take you back to the touchdown.
We'll take a look at it. It's going to be a bootleg, and they're going to full protect Vick's throwing side. He has plenty of time to set his feet and launch it, and that is at warp speed, Deshaun Jackson. If he's not the fastest guy in the NFL, he's one of the fastest. But you better get your hands on him, D'Angelo Hall, and not ever let him get up against the Landry one-on-one, or it's over.
Beautifully designed by Andy Reid. You saw Clay Harbor, the tight end. They like to use that maximum protection when they want to go deep. Allow Michael Vick to get comfortable in the pocket, number one. Number two, allow Deshaun Jackson to work down the field against the safety. When you look at the Redskins, they like to play that too deep shell. If you get pressure on the quarterback, that's a great defense. If the quarterback has time, that's the result, a big play.
I mean, if you're a Christmas shopper and you want to buy a gift for somebody, buy a Deshaun Jackson touchdown highlight reel. 22 touchdowns, and they're over 50 yards of play.
And you talk about the big plays. These guys have been on the same page when Vick has been healthy and starting. You see their numbers, 22 of 32. When Vick has gone to Deshaun Jackson, 4 touchdowns. So if you just take the rating of a quarterback to a wide receiver with all the stats incorporated together, best in the league. That's a combo that nobody can catch, literally or figuratively. 15-yard penalty on D'Angelo Hall allows Akers to boot it through the back of the end zone. And the Redskins in a touchdown hole will start from their own 20. So Donovan McNabb will have to work with a long field, and McNabb off that contract with the ink still drying on it. 11 years, 142 starts with the Eagles, goes back to Philly Jaws in week 4 and wins. Did not have a good statistical game, but got the victory that meant so much to him.
And he made the plays that were necessary to win the football game. Certainly ran the ball very well against Eagles defense in that game, but Donovan made some plays with his legs late in that game to secure the victory. The question I'm going to watch and think about tonight is how healthy is McNabb?
And how healthy is the running game? Keelan Williams is getting the start. College free agent out of LSU. The detail why in a second. Williams gains about 4 yards as Mike Patterson is there for the tackle. So Clinton Portis is still out. He hasn't played since that first game against the Eagles with a torn groin muscle. Ryan Terrain has a hamstring injury and could not get loose and get going in pregame. So Williams starts. Chris Cooley, the tight end. Santana Moss has the most catches. Armstrong's the deep threat. Up front, Trent Williams, 4th overall pick in the draft last year. Coming along here a little bit, but this offensive line, candidly, has not protected McNabb very well. Williams carries another 3 yards there. He gets over to the 27. Mentioned Ryan Terrain, who stepped in that game against Philadelphia and had a good performance. There he is on the bike, trying to get that hamstring loose and going. He has battled injuries throughout his career, so he does not start. He was going to. Clinton Portis, who has now missed 5 games with that groin injury, is getting closer, but just was not ready to go. A very severe groin tear that he had. So the Redskins are down to a college free agent. He's a rookie in the league at running back. It's Williams, and he is met in the hole by Demetri Patterson, the corner, 3-and-out Washington.
Well, the Philadelphia Eagles use a lot of defensive linemen. You're going to see 5 defensive linemen on the field to get one-on-one blocks up front. And they do an excellent job utilizing their personnel in Philadelphia. They drove Peyton Manning crazy last week, and the Redskins continue to struggle on 3rd down. They have been miserable this year on offense on 3rd down.
Hunter Smith kicks. Not a good kick. 44 yards. Calvin took a line drive at the 28. Lost his footing there on the side. Hope he's okay. He hops back up. Philly will take over at the 37. 1 play, 1 big touchdown. Some of the striking shots. No city has the scenic views like Washington, D.C. Just on the edge of the Beltway, inside the Beltway here in Landover, Maryland. 1 play, 88 yards. The Eagles lead by 7. Deshaun Jackson reeling it in. From the 37, the lefty Vick is out that way again. And throwing on the run complete across midfield to Jason Avant. Tackled by Kareem Moore. Avant is the 3rd receiver for the Eagles. We have not yet talked about LaShawn McCoy, who's averaging 4.5 yards a carry. Owen Schmidt, the fullback. Selleck at tight end. His number's down a bit. Jackson and Macklin are the big play threats as you see. Jason Peters playing well up front for the Eagles. Look at the rest of the offensive line.
This is the time and place for Andy Reid. Loves trickery. Don't be surprised if you get a double reverse, something crazy here.
Here comes Jackson. You've seen some film, haven't you? Here comes Macklin. His speed turns the corner and gets a first down. John, we see so many times where these guys go with that ghost and the end comes around. That time they get the next counter offer.
Well, they hand the ball to Deshaun Jackson on the around last week against the Colts several times. This week, let's hand it to Deshaun and flip it to Jeremy Macklin, who's an outstanding runner in his own right. What a start for the Philadelphia Eagles. 3 offensive plays. They've made more yards than I made in some of the games.
Pedal to the metal offense. That's the way Andy Reid runs it.
37. Here's McCoy for the first time tonight. LaShawn gains a couple of yards. Jaws, this is an offense that gives you, with Andy Reid, Marty Morningwig installing and calling the plays, a lot of variety and a lot of different looks.
It's all about different personnel packages. They're probing the defense, find a weakness, see where you're going to match up to all those packages. And Marty Morningwig, you see right there, boy, he loves to attack once he gets some matchups that he likes. You'll see 1 back, 2 back, no back, 3 wide, 4 wide. They give you all the looks.
Second and 7. Screen set up for McCoy. Good block out front. Sends LaShawn McCoy into the red zone. Inside the 10. First and goal, Philadelphia.
Boy, these two safeties for the Washington Redskins are playing deeper than I've ever seen safeties play. It's too deep. Look how deep these safeties are. And Michael Vick, he says, I'm just going to drop back, look deep, and throw it short. And that's LaShawn McCoy's 41st catch. And this guy is ultra quick. He's on schedule to catch 80 balls.
And you see Rocky McIntosh, number 52, was responsible for the screen back. Once you get a block on him, there's a lot of running room for McCoy. Excellent job by the Eagles' offensive line in space.
That field empty. First and goal, Vick. Dancing, running, in for the touchdown.
I've never seen this guy play better.
Well, we talked about Michael Vick as the prototypical pocket passer. Michael Vick getting on the edge, almost unstoppable. You'll see him drop back in the pocket. Nothing there to throw the football. But here's what Michael Vick brings to the table. Mobility, escapability, and a nose through the end zone. Look at the vision. He's still looking for the throw. But now once he's in space, he just makes people miss. He is dazzling so far this evening.
Well, if you rush 3 guys and you give him all kind of time, he's going to look to create. There's nobody better than Michael Vick.
Akers adds the extra point when they met at Lincoln Financial Field on October 3rd. It was 4 minutes, 25 seconds in for the Redskins to be up 14-0. 18 seconds deeper to the first quarter. Flip that story. They're looking over at Michael Vick's right ankle. His rib injury kept him out. An injury that he suffered in Game 1 against the Redskins, but Vick has come back sharper and, if possible, quicker than he was even earlier in the season. Terrific run there by the goal line, and Philly doing to the Redskins exactly what Washington did in Philadelphia. Jump up 14-0. Brandon Banks had knee surgery after the Detroit game in the bye week. Very speedy, game-changing receiver to the 27-yard line. You remember the Vick injury if you were watching the game. Michael was trying to drive the Eagles back in this game. Kareem Moore, D'Angelo Hall sandwich him. The rib cartilage injury, missed the next 3 games. Michael telling us last night, it's only painful when he sneezes, and it's not even that anymore. It's progressively getting better. And just retaping his ankle. And
well, that's the only way he's been stopped, is when he's been knocked out of the game, Mike.
You're right. See how Donovan McNabb and this Washington offense does not put up a ton of points this year. How they respond. Anthony Armstrong, gain of 1. Quentin Michael over there to get the receiver quickly. Let's say about this Philly defense off a very solid performance against the Colts last week. Trent Cole leading them with 7 sacks. Antonio Dixon's worked his way into starting line. Big guy, 90 up there, gets in the way of a lot of folk. Linebackers, Ernie Sims play coming along. He came over from Detroit. Stuart Bradley and Foku, the other backers. And in the secondary, get some injuries here to watch. Dimitri Patterson for Ellis Hobbs, who's out tonight. Rookie Kurt Coleman, his first start. Nate Allen, the rookie's injured. McNabb complete to Santana Moss. Good tackle immediately by Patterson. 3rd down coming up, Jaws, a big down for this Washington offense.
And this is an area where they have struggled. If there's a big down early in the game, this is it. They need to cool down this defense, because if this Eagle defense gets time to go sit in the sideline and watch Michael Vick take his team down the field, it'll be a long evening for the Redskins. Big 3rd down play, and they've struggled in this area.
38-year-old Joey Galloway is the third receiver for Washington. Pressure, Ernie Sims. McNabb gets away. Off the hands of Moss. Intercepted. Kurt Coleman's got it. In his first start at the 37 of Washington. Awful start for the Redskins. 6 minutes, 8 seconds. 2 Eagle touchdowns, 1 Redskin turnover. This one was ticketed for Santana Moss. Found a home with Kurt Coleman to save him. Boy, Philly, chance to get a knockout punch here halfway through the first quarter, leading 14-0. As McNabb was intercepted, a pass that could have been caught by Santana Moss. But the entire offense had multiple breakdowns of that play. And now the Eagle offense, 6 plays and 151 yards. Wow. Shot 7 is Vick with a ton of room to run. Pass McIntosh. Out of bounds inside the 25. First down, gain of 13.
Yeah, the Eagles defense is about pressure. Let's go back to the interception. You'll see Ernie Sims up the middle. Williams whiffs on him. Pressure on Donovan. Now he finds Santana Moss, delivers the ball off the hands of Moss. But you've got to protect the quarterback first and foremost. They're off the hands of Moss. But Donovan would have hit him sooner in that first lane, but he got pressured and had to move. It starts with protection first.
Albert Hainsworth in the game, 92 for the Redskins. Trying to penetrate a little bit as Jerome Harrison gets just his 3rd carry as an Eagle and no gain. So here's Hainsworth, a guy who made so much money, as we know, in free agency just a couple of seasons ago.
Well, finally, we get the big fella in the game. He only plays about 25 to 30 snaps a game. He likes to penetrate, come off the ball, and be a disruptive force. He does not like this 34 defense. He doesn't like it at all. But when he plays well, especially the last 3 games.
Desperate for some sort of a stop, this Washington defense. 2nd and 10, direct snap to Deshaun Jackson. 2 blockers ahead of him. He's pulled down by the corner, D'Angelo Hall at the 19.
Here's some of the things I saw on Albert Hainsworth in the last couple weeks. He just runs over a guard himself and gets a sack on Jay Cutler. And how about this play on a goal? Wow. He just goes airborne like a defensive back and stuffs that play. You got to get this guy going. He was brought here to dominate. Like to see him play more in this system. Find a way to get it done, Albert.
Reluctant to play nose tackle, but when they slide him in kind of near the center, he's doing some of those disruptive things, and here he's sliding in there now on 3rd and 5.
Well, he loves that gap.
Showing pressure. Vick comfortably to Avant. A terrific 3rd down receiver. Jason Avant with the first down inside the 10. A gain of 11.
Take a look at LaRon Landry. Look what defensive coordinator Jim Haslett is doing with LaRon Landry. He's going to come up in here and spy on Michael Vick. He's going to look all over the place for Vick to scramble. Keep an eye on that tonight. They need somebody that can run Michael Vick down, and Landry might be the only Redskin on the field that can do that.
Might be.
Somebody didn't do what the defensive coordinator was wishing for there. Vick, McCoy, gain of 2 to the 6.
Well, the one thing that you see about Michael Vick is the maturity in his game. Yes, he's making some plays with his legs, but he's becoming a more conventional quarterback. You'll see him go through his progression. Take the check down when it's there, not forced throws. We all know he's got that athletic ability, but now you make that combination of a guy that'll stay in the pocket, deliver the ball on time. That's special.
Andre Carter, who also was a starter and is no longer, along with Hainsworth, in the switch from the 4-3 to the 3-4. They're together, closest to you.
False start. Offense. Number 59. 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
These penalties have to irritate Andy Reid. They've committed more penalties this year than I can remember an Andy Reid football team. I know Cole's a backup, but they've had problems with holding calls, illegal procedures, and especially in this part of the field, that's a backbreaker.
Cole's in there for Max Gene Gillis, who is active, but a concussion, didn't practice a good part of the week. So Cole, who's started before, starting guard earlier this year, he gets the start tonight. Vic shoveling McCoy, 21-0 out of the gate, Philadelphia. Hello.
Over pass left. Andy Reid has all the plays. They moved Vic to his left twice already. And then this time, keep an eye on the fullback right here as he attacks the defensive end. The fullback is going to attack the end will widen, and Vic is going to pitch the ball to the halfback for an easy touchdown. Watch the fullback attack the end widens, easy angle up the field. That's a clinic reel. This first quarter offense by Philadelphia, I want to get a copy of this.
Wow. You know, I know some people. I can get you a copy of it. Here's the bad part. There's like 50 more minutes of it to come. What a start for the Eagles. 3 possessions, 3 touchdowns. The ability and presence of Michael Vick, such an impact thus far, Jaws.
And he comes at you in so many ways. The one thing that Michael Vick does have is the big, strong arm. You can attack vertically at any area of the football field. What he also brings you is mobility. You can cover all the receivers. When he gets the edge, you're going to get explosive plays. And the gimmicks and the gadgets he brings to the table as well, because he calms down the defense. He balances out the defense and just opens the field, not only vertically with the pass game, with the shovel pass, you see it horizontally, sideline to sideline. Amazing start by Michael Vick and this Eagles offense here in the first quarter.
You go back over the history of this series, over the decades, 3 touchdowns in the first quarter for the Eagles. First time they've done it against the Redskins. Brandon Banks back to take the Akers kickoff. And he's tripped up. Just shy of the 25-yard line. Mike Shanahan, Donovan McNabb got to find some answers here on offense. The defense ain't getting it done right now. Eagles have, the Redskins, I should say, have overcome 21-0 down once in franchise history to win in the 60s against the Cowboys. So there is some small sliver of hope, Redskin fans. Keelan Williams, the running back, got it from McNabb. And he gets it to the 27. You saw McNabb stumble there. We saw that in the game against Detroit a few weeks ago. It's so strange to see McNabb still in a Redskins uniform after the 11 years with the Philadelphia Eagles. And now as you watch it, guys, you're into the second phase with that contract that was signed before the game here today. Donovan McNabb is going to be the Redskins' short-term answer at quarterback. How will he and Mike Shanahan work together as this goes forward is the next thing we need to watch. Williams gains a couple of yards, just shy of the 30.
Well, it's important they work well together because they're both under contract for a while now. But it's very important that Donovan McNabb gets a grasp of this offense. You see Mike Shanahan, his son Kyle Shanahan, the offensive coordinator. Make no mistake, this offense is totally different than the one he ran for the last 11 years. And I'm not just talking about terminology. I'm talking about route concepts, audible mechanics. This is a whole new shooting match for Donovan McNabb.
Facing a 3rd down and 3. That throw's incomplete. No chance. Very few guys open. Not a good pass by McNabb. And there's another 3 and out. So the Redskins have nothing going offensively. 9 plays, 21 yards.
Well, just an opportunity for a first down. That's all Mike Shanahan, Kyle Shanahan wanted. They weren't worried about long term. At this point, they were trying to get a first down. Right, a little angle route in there to Chris Cooley, overthrown by McNabb. They are just out of sync offensively.
Trying to keep Philadelphia off the field with offense. Hunter Smith's kick taken by Jordan Calvin. Hit hard, shy of the 25-yard line by Reed Dowdy. Well, after Monday Night Football, fun part of the year for us at ESPN. We are the home court of college hoops. Look at all those games we have coming up. The marathon of 21 games on the family of networks. Dick Vitale's 32nd season with us. For the top 5 teams, you're going to see both national champs, Duke and the UConn women's team. They take on Baylor in what's going to be a great matchup. So after Monday Night Football, the College Hoops Marathon begins on the ESPN family of networks. Vic starting from the 23. McCoy, gain of 12, first down to the 35. Vic has hit all 7 passes here tonight. We know the story of Michael Vick, incarcerated 18 months ago. He was in jail, and when he came out after the dogfighting issue, he needed a place to play football. He and Donovan McNabb have a long history going back to when Vic was being recruited by Syracuse, where McNabb played. McNabb said, as he talked to Vic, you know what? This guy deserves another chance, another opportunity. But it was up to Andy Reid to also put his neck on the line and say, you know what, I can handle all the scorn that will come with this. And they helped convince Jeffrey Lurie, the owner of the Eagles, that this could work. Boy, has it ever. That's another one, 8 of 8. This is Jerome Harrison near midfield. Jaws, you live in Philadelphia. This was not a rubber stamp no-brainer. There were a lot of teams in the league that did not want to bring Michael Vick to their team.
Yeah, and it was very difficult for the Eagles and Michael Vick in Philadelphia. But you got to give the fans credit. You know, they let him do what he had to do. Michael Vick paid a steep price, his personal fortune. You know, he paid his debt aside, and I think the people understand that, and now they've accepted him.
So Jeffrey Lurie, he and wife Christina, very much a part of the decision-making process. Jerome Harrison into the secondary. Harrison cutting back, and he might go. Jerome Harrison diving for the pylon. Did he get in? Yes, touchdown.
That's 270 yards in 1 quarter of football by this Philadelphia Eagle offense. I'm as shocked as this guy is.
50-yarder for Harrison, who was acquired in a trade from Cleveland for Mike Bell. And we've seen Harrison have a big run on a Monday night, had a 72-yarder against the Bills for the Browns. This one's 50.
It's an inside zone handoff, Ron. Nothing mysterious about the play. 3 missed tackles, and there's another football player that Andy Reid traded for. He's done a great job adding NFL veteran players, and Jerome Harrison is another one.
And you see Eagles history, most points they've ever scored in the first quarter, 28. In season 41, this is the 637th Monday Night Football game. And there's never been a first quarter like this. No team has ever scored 28 points in the first quarter of a Monday night game, as the Eagles set that history and franchise history as well. Jerome Harrison with the run and a Redskin defense that is in shock.
They're not the only ones.
270 yards on 15 plays.
270 yards in the first quarter. Usually the team scores 28 points. It's turnovers, sudden changes. Right now, this has just been a butt kicking that the Eagles are putting on the Redskins right now.
Brandon Banks back for the kickoff. Going to take it from 3 yards deep. Stopped shy of the 20. Keenan Clayton with the tackle.
I just wonder about the effort. You know, I just wonder about the tackling. You know, D'Angelo Hall, watch number 41 here, Kareem Moore, the safety. Just an inside handoff. Here's Kareem Moore, nothing there. D'Angelo Hall, nothing there. LaRon Landry misses a tackle. McIntosh in pursuit. I've never seen this in 20 years. Poor tackling, routine touchdowns, 275 yards in 1 quarter.
Most of the Redskins had allowed in the opening quarter, regular season or playoff games. Keelan Williams carries to the 21. You guys have said you've never seen something like this before. I'm sure you've been in games where a team jumps on you into shock. As a player, as a coach, what's it like on the sideline when you put 2 weeks of work into it off the bye and you're in a 28-point hole?
It's an awful feeling. I mean, here you are if you're down to McNabb right now. You just want to get a first down. You want to calm this thing down a little bit. But I don't know what to say when you look at how this Redskin defense is playing. I mean, the Eagles just having their way.
Saw London Fletcher trying to be a leader on this veteran team. Trent Williams, the lineman, was holding as that pass is incomplete. There was no flag thrown, but Williams had Darryl tapped by the neck, and to add precipitation to the pain, it's raining now.
But, you know, Andy Reid, 12-0 coming off the bye. Mike Shanahan's 10-4 coming off the bye. Mike Shanahan's a great football coach. He felt really good, managed the bye well. His team has not played either phase tonight, Jaws.
Well, the Redskins have run 11 offensive plays for a grand total of 23 yards, have yet to garner a first down.
McNabb on 3rd and 8. 4 twisting linemen kept away. His throws out of the hands is incomplete. Bert Coleman had the coverage on Joey Galloway, and that is 4 possessions, 4 3-and-outs, Washington.
Well, when Donovan has had time in the pocket, a 3-man rush, perfect throw to Joey Galloway right on the numbers. That's 2 drop balls right now by the Redskin wide receivers. No excuse. Got to catch the football.
Former Colt kicker Hunter Smith kicks it away. Great kick, flag down. And Jordan Calvin takes it back to the 36. Ooh, look out there on the sideline. So sideline personnel get injured. And McNabb will try to rally the Redskins offense.
Illegal formation. Offense. Only 6 men on the line of scrimmage. That 5-yard penalty will be added to the end of the run. First down, Philadelphia.
John, what do you do as a coach in this situation?
It's tough.
Do you stick with that script, the 15 plays, that whole deal?
You know, if you're Mike Shanahan, you just have to say the first quarter is over. We need to get a stop here on defense and stop the bleeding. All you can do is get 1 score at a time, Mike. But when you're a first-year head coach, this guy's made numerous changes now at quarterback, bringing in a new offensive system. They've gone to a 34 defense. It's not going to be easy, and it's not going to happen overnight. But I know Mike Shanahan well enough, guys. He's keeping an eye on this football team. He's going to make sure nobody quits, or they won't be here very long.
From the 42, here's Vick. Scrambling for about 5 yards to the 47-yard line. And the numbers for Vick, he has not missed on anything here tonight. 8 of 8 for 181 yards. And John, you said it as you were preparing, watching the game. The confidence with which he's throwing the ball, the strength of the arm, the accuracy, everything together has really been the thing that has caught your eye.
Look, Mike, a lot of people will roll their eyes. But this guy reminds me of Steve Young when he took over the helm at 30 years old with the San Francisco 49ers. This is a legitimate double threat. He's a totally different person after what he's been through, completely focused, in love with this offense, and he's surrounded with impact young playmakers.
And the Eagles coaching staff has done a terrific job of working with him. So you can see the mechanics are much improved than they were from those years in Atlanta.
Vick falling. McCoy did a great job of maintaining possession. He's tackled for the first down by Andre Carter as a historic quarter comes to end. Why do we say that? The Eagles are the road team. They lead by 28. It's the largest lead that a road team has had at the end of the first quarter in the history of the National Football League. Feels like we've seen so much of the Michael Vick story. #1 overall pick out of Virginia Tech with the Falcons in 2001. playing those 6 seasons, 3 Pro Bowls, in many ways becoming the new emerging face of the National Football League, the big contract, but then missing all of 07 and 08. The guilty plea involving the dogfighting ring after 19 months of incarceration, brought back to Philadelphia, played sparingly last year, supporting role for Donovan McNabb, but this year coming out with a vengeance and continuing that here in the opening quarter. It hasn't been all Vic. He has 2 touchdown passes, but he has made the great weapons that Andy Reid has collected in this offense even more lethal. And you see that by Vic's threat in that first quarter. And they're rolling on possession 5 of the night. Vic taking another shot. This from Macklin. Jeremy Macklin pushed off, caught it, touchdown! Oh, man! Never seen anything like this, ever.
I think I'm dreaming.
Let's watch the back end of the play. The 2 officials over there are talking right now. Let's make sure he's inbounds. Catch, and his shoulder hits the pylon first. Let's see where the ball is as it comes down. Got the ball.
That's a touchdown.
So, where's the elbow? Nope. Elbow doesn't come down on the white, comes down on the pylon. 48-yarder there, and Mike Shanahan's going to challenge this. Here's our max zoom look as the elbow comes down. And the elbow, remember, 1, does it come down inbounds? 2, the elbow would be equivalent to a knee or any other body part. So if he's down where the elbow's down, as long as it was by contact of a Redskin,
was challenging the ruling in the field on the play of a touchdown.
it would be a score. So they'll look at that in review. So the Eagles might be adding to this record-setting opening quarter plus a play. Amazing, extraordinary start by the Eagles. Could be 34-0, depending on the ruling here. They're looking at D'Angelo Hall as they look at the replays upstairs to see if Jeremy Macklin was in the inbounds and then in the end zone. A lot of looks here. Hall back. Macklin catches the ball. I don't think he ever makes contact with D'Angelo Hall. So when he comes down here, once we establish if he's inbounds or not, he's there on his own volition. So if he rolls into the end zone, okay, he has not been knocked in. If that's all determined inbounds, then he does touch the front of the line, which is the frame that you see with our max zoom, and it would be a touchdown. Go ahead, Mr. Replay.
That's not indisputable. They can't overturn that. That's touchdown, Jeremy Macklin. Great concentration. He ran right by D'Angelo Hall and made a superb play at the front pylon.
Ball skills extraordinary. That ball in the air, Macklin said it's mine, knew where the sideline was, kept his feet in bounds. This has just been an unbelievable start by Michael Vick.
Look at Andy Reid. I think he's going to take his first 15, this script, and use it next week and the following week.
It's going to Canton in the Hall of Fame. That's where this script's going.
Cleat Blackman.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. Washington will be charged with timeout.
Stands not confirmed. Means that it was not indisputable, but it will still be a touchdown. And after a quarter and a play, it will be extra point pending, a 5-touchdown lead. I mean, Philadelphia has 5 touchdowns. The Redskins have run 12 plays. David Akers. 35-0. Really?
Shot.
Well, Michael Vick has made incredible improvement as a pocket passer. Look at the balance. Look at the movement. Oblivious to the pass rush. Eyes downfield. Accurate throw for the touchdown. Here's what I like. The balance. Bounce. And you get on that back foot and you drive the football. Look at the arc. This is a deep throw. You see the lead shoulder up in the air, so there's a high arc to the ball. And there's one happy touchdown passer, Michael Vick. What a start to this game by Michael Vick. 9 for 9, 229 yards and 3 touchdowns. What are the NFL records? We better start looking them up right now.
I can tell you one of the great memorable scores of all time involved the Redskins. 1940, the NFL championship game. The Bears beat the Redskins 73-0 in that game. You kind of laugh. We're almost halfway there, and we're not even past the second snap of the second quarter. In that game, Washington only trailed in the first quarter 21-0. Tonight they trailed 28 and now 35.
This is a statistician's dream.
Man.
Probably
the first thing I'm thinking about, John, is Norm Van Brocken's 554 yards, single game yards passing. That's in jeopardy right now.
a lot of records in jeopardy.
Hey, call me.
David Akers kicks off again. Banks will take it from the 3. Brandon brought one back against the Lions. He's tripped up just past the 25, John.
I like Andy Reid and Michael Vick together. Take a look at what they can do with Michael Vick sprinting to his left. They full protect it. They buy him time to bomb you with Deshaun Jackson. Unbelievable start to this game. The next time, they sprint him out to his left with Schmidt as the lead blocker. They throw a corner route to Avon. And then they sprint to the left and run a shovel pass to LaShawn McCoy that walks. The combination of Michael Vick and Andy Reid's playbook, unstoppable so far in 2010.
Play actually, Keelan Williams. McNabb rolls the pocket. Wide open on the other side is the tight end, Frank Davis. First and goal, Washington.
Well, that's the wise sneak play that Stuart Bradley said we had no answer for. And Mike Shanahan and Kyle Shanahan have unveiled this play on the offense. Take a look at the tight end sneak, and then he's going to run a wheel route off a play-action pass, and Philadelphia never sees him coming. The flow goes with Donovan McNabb. Wide open, easy runaway score. They had the same play against Philadelphia earlier in the season. Davis dropped the ball.
John, but Stuart Bradley was on Davis, and Davis just knocked him to the ground. Bradley was on the ground. That's why he was so wide open.
Play coverage, 71 yards, longest for Washington this year. Mike Sellers, the fullback, was blocking. He was hurt, so Darrell Young is in blocking for Keelan Williams. And McNabb, play action, has Young, has a touchdown. Former linebacker from Villanova, first career NFL score.
Well, Donovan McNabb is showing his ability to make plays on the bootleg and get outside the pocket, just like Michael Vick has done for the Philadelphia Eagles. Simple little lead to the left side, but Donovan pulls the ball back inside, and you'll see number 36, Darrell Young, sneak out the backside. And Asante Samuel got caught peeking in the backfield. Touchdown for the Redskins.
Hard to believe these bootlegs work that well with a 35-0 lead. I wouldn't be buying the fake.
Graham Gano is coming in for the extra point. How about the story Darrell Young will have to tell? The first time I ever touched the ball in my NFL career was a touchdown on Monday Night Football. And it got our team within 4 touchdowns. They put on the eye-popping offensive performance of Week 10, at least until the first half tonight. We'll see them next Monday night against the Chargers, who are trying to get back in the race in the AFC West. Here it is, 35-7. Darrell Young with the touchdown catch from McNabb. The only bad news is they scored so quick, he's picking the Eagles the ball again. Graham Gano kicks to George Calvin from the 2. Cannot bring it out past the 20-yard line. Young, who just scored the touchdown, made the tackle. Andy Reid's been here before, up 21 after 1. The first game of his Eagles head coaching tenure, September of '99, against the Cardinals, and then they were not able to hold that lead as the Cardinals rallied to beat the Eagles 25-24. It's a little more potent offense, a little more polished group.
Yeah, that's 21 points. This was 35.
I don't know why. Yep.
A lot of football left to be played, guys.
Yeah, it's kind of like that basketball mentality. Cut it to 10 at halftime, in small chunks. Gonna stop these guys first if you're Washington. London Fletcher with the tackle there of Brent Selleck, gain of about 6.
One thing about Andy Reid is over the last 10 years, he's managed the quarterback position as well as anybody. Donovan McNabb, 142 straight games. He drafts Kevin Cobb, who's also an outstanding player. And guess what? He's got Michael Vick playing better than he ever has. Andy Reid has stockpiled players at the quarterback position. I don't know that there's many guys better with quarterbacks than that guy, Andy Reid.
Vick's 10 for 10. Best stretch within a game in his career. And a run from McCoy's a first down. We get a Sports Center right now from Trey Wingo.
Michael, thanks. We'll get through this quick before the Eagles score again. Giants catcher Buster Posey won the NL Rookie of the Year award. He helped lead the Giants to their first championship since 1954. Neftali Feliz won the AL award after setting a rookie record with 40 saves for Texas. And the 49ers making it official. Troy Smith, the new starting quarterback, replacing Alex Smith. He's 2-0 as the starter. He will be the starter when they play the Bucs. Let's get back to the scoring fest. Michael.
Didn't miss one, Trey. Thank you. But another first down for Philadelphia. They're 14th in 20 plays. McCoy gets to the 32-yard line.
But, it's just strange watching the Redskins on defense. That's 1st and 10. The Eagles are going to run the football with a 4-touchdown league, and there's Albert Haynesworth not playing. He's not part of this base 3-4 defense that Mike Shanahan and Jim Haslett have put in here. Here he comes now on a 2nd down and 7 situation, but it's just odd that a player of this caliber doesn't fit your base defense. And I know it's really been frustrating for Jim Haslett and Albert making this work somehow.
Well, Sean McCoy's at the top of the screen. Jerome Harrison's the running back here. Vick hit as he threw. It is deflected and incomplete. Rocky McIntosh brought the pressure.
Well, the Redskins went to a defense that they used against Peyton Manning, that amoeba defense, everyone moving around, trying to disguise what they wanted to do. As you see to the right side here, you see all the players moving around, and here comes the pressure. Bring the overload, and McIntosh gets a clean shot on Michael Vick. But the movement before the snap, Presap broke down the Eagles' protection scheme, and Vick takes a shot.
And now can the Redskins defense get off the field? 3rd and 7. Haynesworth standing up as he starts to rush. Vick throws underneath. They couldn't tackle Macklin, but they finally get him. D'Angelo Hall and the Washington defense with a stop.
And this crowd's going crazy right now. They finally got to stop. I say that sarcastically.
See D'Angelo's grabbing at the back of that leg right away after that play, and he goes down on the sideline. Watch him on this hit. And as teammates came in, he got hit.
And they're going for the strip. The Redskins have done a great job defensively taking the ball away this year. They've done it 19 times. That's more than they had all last season. They're going to need to get a couple turnovers to fight back into this game.
Rocket kicks. Brandon Banks back. Puck goes out of bounds right around the 20-yard line. 47-yard kick. Redskins take over at their own 19. Down 28. But congratulations to Jason Garrett. Got the Cowboys to play hard, play well at the Meadowlands, beat the Giants. They get win 2 on the season, so the Giants fall to 6-3. An Eagle win, and they're all even in the division, meeting next Sunday night in Philadelphia. The Redskins have not lost here in the division with wins over the Cowboys and the Eagles. Their hopes were to go 3-0 in the division tonight. But they're digging out of a 35-point hole. Big ball for Armstrong. He holds it in. Ho-ho! Armstrong all the way to the 5. Anthony Armstrong. 77 yards.
Well, the Eagles lined up with their 5-down look. That gave one-on-one to the outside. Donovan read it. And he is Armstrong, the former Arena Football League player, streaking down the sideline. He throws this, boy, this just falls out of the sky right to Armstrong. Perfect throw from Donovan McNabb. You'll see right there, just a speed route. Set him up to the inside. Patterson cannot recover.
You want to talk about Donovan McNabb? He's got a strong arm, and he hit Armstrong. First and goal from the 5. Keelan Williams to the 1.
There's a whole lot of football left. Believe it or not, Donovan McNabb can make 2 throws like that after being down 35-0. You see why they re-signed Donovan McNabb.
You'll see Donovan right here. This is what he's reading right now. He knows he's got the isolation on the outside. Needs to buy just a little bit of time so Trent Cole can't get to him. Gets rid of the football and a nice arc on that throw.
Mike Sellers back in at fullback and movement on the right side.
That's a skillet.
False start. Offense. Number 75. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
That's Artis Hicks, who came over from the Vikings. He's a former Eagle.
Well, Stuart Bradley jumped into the A gap between the center and the guard right before the snap. Artis Hicks flinched. It's a major, major penalty.
Now, over the top, Williams takes it in. Touchdown, Washington Redskins.
You got to give Kyle Shanahan, Mike Shanahan, some credit here. The Eagles come with the blitz. They come with their blitz beater. That little check down to Williams. You'll see the pressure. Pull up the middle. Tap up the middle in Donovan's face. Checks it down. Well-executed play to Williams for the Redskins touchdown. That's anticipating the blitz and having an answer.
They're really not going to come back from down 35, are they? Graham Gano with the extra point. 40 plays tonight, 7 touchdowns. We're just 1/3 of the way through the game. Largest building in the league, 91,000, FedEx Field. And our aerial coverage from above tonight is brought to you by DirecTV. Showers coming down. Rain and points as well. Mike Tirico, John Gruden, Ron Jaworski, Susie Calder down there in the rain. 35 points the Eagles scored to start. The Redskins respond with back-to-back possessions for touchdown. Gano kicks to Jordan Calvin. Make the reverse. Calvin got stuck. Lorenzo Alexander hits him. And the Redskins are showing some signs of life the last 4 or 5 minutes.
Boy, I'll say, wow. Watch this.
Lorenzo Alexander. This guy's a success story. He came here as an offensive lineman. Look at that contact. He can play linebacker. He can play defensive tackle. This is a gifted athlete, and obviously he can play special teams. As we study tape, I seen the linebacker covering the tight end down the middle. A few snaps later, he's playing defensive tackle.
4th-year man on a cow. Eagles offense stopped for the first time last drive. LaShawn McCoy runs left when Fletcher tackles him near the first down mark. McCoy essentially, guys, has become Brian Westbrook in that role on this team. Of course, Westbrook missed so much time last year, suffered a concussion when we were here. So McCoy played half those games, and now in his 2nd year out of Pittsburgh, he's emerged into that complete back role.
He's gotten bigger, he's gotten stronger, has a better understanding of the game. He is quick as a cat, doesn't have that big speed, but boy, he's a hard guy to bring down, and Michael Vick's running ability has really helped McCoy.
Jerome Harrison now the back. Vick off to his left. Being chased, taken off. And the first down at the 40-yard line.
The one thing that I noticed about Michael Vick this year as opposed to last year was the quick twitch is back. As a defensive lineman, linebacker, you think you got him. You'll see it right here. Michael Vick's in trouble. Two guys got him. It's LaRon Landry, a very athletic safety. He can't bring him down. He gets away from Landry. This is a guy that used to spy on Michael Vick. He can't bring him down. And once he gets away, fortunately the Redskins, they were able to minimize the damage.
Here's McCoy met in the hole by Rocky McIntosh. Brian Arakpo with a tackle, gain of a yard. So the rushing ability of Vick on display here tonight. Michaels carried for 39 yards, moves him past our colleague Steve Young, second all-time in NFL history behind the guy who did a lot of it with the Eagles, Randall Cunningham. And John, you coached Randall and Steve and see Michael here. Just give us some perspective.
Well, Randall Cunningham, he was different. He was a run-and-gun guy from Nevada, Las Vegas. Michael Vick, I have never seen this guy play the position better. And he's faster than both of those guys.
From the 41, Vick, sack. There's Andre Carter playing in a reserve role now.
Well, you see this Redskins front four now heating up. They're getting into this game, getting the quick pressure on on Vick.
Andre Carter had 11 sacks last year. He's in a limited role this year, playing spot duty really in the nickel. But you're right, Jaws. I give the Redskins a lot of credit. McNabb has rallied them with 2 quick offensive touchdowns, and if the Redskins can get off here, we got a football game.
Deep drop Vick. In trouble. Away from McIntosh. Chased by Carter. Throw incomplete. Good job by the Washington defense to hang in there. Back to back, they get the Eagles off the field.
You know, when you play Michael Vick, you have to finish every play at full speed. And Brian Arakpo does an excellent job just staying alive. You got to keep looking for him. You got to keep hunting. You can't stop. It's an all-day down against Michael Vick. Great effort by the Redskins on defense to force another punt.
And Albert Hainsworth was playing right defensive end and had good pressure on Vick.
Rockers kick 53 yards. Banks from the 7. Doesn't have that quick cutting elusiveness coming off that surgery. It's the 3rd special teams tackle for a player just added to the Eagles roster this week, Colt Anderson out of Montana. Donovan McNabb, who's made many a start on Monday Night Football for the Eagles, starting against the Eagles here tonight. And it was a very slow start for this entire Washington offense. Short-circuited, but they've come back. McNabb has hit 2 long passes, helping the Redskins score 2 touchdowns. And, well, they do trust in terms of a new contract that was signed by McNabb earlier today. A contract extension. Taking over from their own 13. McNabb is pressured. The flag is down as Donovan unloads again downfield for Armstrong. A jump ball incomplete. Quentin Michael, they're battling with Anthony Armstrong. The flag.
Holding. Offense. Number 61. It's a 10-yard penalty. Replay first down.
Casey Robach, the center.
The Redskins offense got off to a slow start, but when you have Donovan McNabb, you have a warrior at quarterback. His receivers didn't help him out early in the game with some drop balls, but Donovan looks healthier. You see the movement from McNabb. Get him outside the pocket on the edge. I love the design of this play. You get the blitz, just check it down, get the touchdown. Pretty good second quarter right now for the Redskins.
After distance penalties to 1st and 16. Collapsing pocket. Keelan Williams out of the backfield. He's taken over the 16-yard line. If you're just tuning in, McNabb in the final year of his deal after being traded over from Philadelphia here agreed to a 5-year, $78 million extension. And those numbers sound so big and so ridiculous.
They are.
Likelihood of him seeing all that money, unlikely, the way contracts are structured. I think the big headline is what the guarantee is. From what I was hearing, what I was finding out, that guarantee is around $10 million, which means you put some stability in the situation now for the rest of this year, on to next year, but you're not married to this for 4 or 5 as McNabb lost that snap, but was able to get back on it and set up third down. When the guy gets benched, the last quarter of football he played, and before he plays again, comes out and gets a contract extension, people go, really? Why?
We don't even know exactly what the contract extension is. If it's $10 million guaranteed, it's not a real eye-opener to me. If it's $78 million guaranteed, that would shock me. But Donovan has to play better. He has looked pretty sharp here in the last couple of possessions. But I was shocked he was re-signed today, that's for sure.
I don't think you're alone. 3rd and 12. McNabb throwing, intercepted. Cutting under the route was Dimitri Patterson. Redskins side wanted a flag, but Patterson got right under Joey Galloway to come up with the turnover.
Dimitri Patterson got his first start last week against Reggie Wayne, Peyton Manning, and the Indianapolis Colts, and had an outstanding game in coverage and open field tackling. Right there, he understood the route combination, and he drives the route. You'll see him down here at the bottom of the screen. Now he's matched one-on-one.
Well, he reads it all the way. I mean, Patterson runs the route for Galloway. And Joey Galloway, I know this guy from my days in Tampa. He's not the kind of receiver that throws the cape off and plays 7 or 8 snaps a game. Patterson read that like a receiver. That was a routine pick.
Patterson's 3rd pick of his career. He had one when he was a Redskin in 2005. Vick fakes to both sides, up the middle to Selleck. That is good understanding of football by London Fletcher. He saw that one coming.
You know, John, I disagree with you on the McNabb signing. I think it's the right thing to do. You know, there's a dearth of solid quarterbacks in this league, and you get an opportunity to sign a guy that's in his 12th year, that's been a winning quarterback. He wins 2 out of every 3 games. I think it's the right thing to do. Kind of gives you that cushion for a couple years if you want to move on. I think Donovan will stabilize this offense.
I didn't say I disagreed. I said I was shocked. Tonight was the night.
Oh, okay. Glad you clarified that to me.
After the gain of 1, Vick screening it to McCoy, who never controlled the ball. Incomplete.
Sandy Reed has more screens in his playbook than most guys. First down play, they ran a fake double screen. They checked it to Selleck. That time, another screen to the left. I wouldn't be surprised if Reed calls another screen. He's been known to call back-to-back-to-back screens. Not many guys call plays like him and Marty Morningway.
Especially when Washington started to heat up that pass rush a little bit, getting a little beat on the timing of it. It's a great settle-down message to a defense. A field goal from here would be about 45 yards in the rain. 3rd and 9. Vick right up the middle. First down and more. Michael Vick out of bounds, just shy of the 5.
Well, I don't know what Michael Vick has timed in the 40-yard dash. It was probably under 4 seconds on game day. He darts out of the pocket.
Yeah, but look at your leading tackler, London Fletcher. Now, how deep can a middle linebacker play? I know it's an empty backfield, but that's London Fletcher playing in the end zone, and Michael Vick, he likes to see London Fletcher that far away from him.
Yeah, because they had Lorenzo Alexander kind of spying on Michael Vick, but that's an athletic mismatch.
Riley Cooper, the rookie out of Florida, is top of your screen. He has 1 touchdown catch this year. Vick back in the end zone for Cooper. Couldn't bring it in.
Another sprint to Michael Vick's left. And Riley Cooper, another young guy that Andy Reid found in last year's draft out of Florida, making some key contributions on offense now here at the midseason point. We all know he's a very good young special teams player, but they like the guy right here, Riley Cooper. He's emerging.
And they like his size at 6'3", 222. You get down his red zone, they need a big body receiver.
That shot gave you great perspective on how wide Philadelphia spreads the field to give Vic room to run. And score again. Michael Vick, second rushing touchdown of the night from 6 yards.
Unbelievable.
It's like a man with boys when he gets outside that pocket.
Look at the splits. I mean, they take these receivers and they split them all over the field. The Redskins covered down, and Michael Vick just walks in. Look at these splits by these receivers. Michael Vick says, you know what? Let's call the quarterback draw. Let's air out the splits. I'll do the rest. I don't know how you stop this guy.
I went out to practice on Friday and watched the Eagles, and I saw more gimmicks, gadgets than you would ever see in a season that they were running out of practice, and they use them in the game.
400 yards of offense, and we're in the first half.
Akers takes it to 42. Ties the most points the Eagles have scored in the first half. Well, the first game wasn't very high scoring, was it? 17-12. This one higher scoring than expected at the 10-minute mark of the second quarter. 42-14. We've had 8 touchdowns here, and Michael Vick has been responsible for 5. Throwing for 3. He hit his first 10 passes on the night, and he's just rushed for his second touchdown.
Well, he was the NFL's Player of the Month in September. He got hurt. He came back. He was the Player of the Week last week against the Colts. If he keeps this up, he's going to be the NFL Player of the Year.
Might be the Player of the Decade, the way this is going. If he can keep this up, he's having fun. I think that's the critical point. Michael Vick is having fun. He's got that gleam back in his eye that he's enjoying this game.
Akers pitch going to send Banks all the way back in the end zone, and Washington will take it over at the 20. Here's how it's looked for Vick tonight.
And Michael Vick has just done everything tonight. You know, the deep ball, look at the rotation, right on the hands of Deshaun Jackson. What I love about this play, he looked to throw first. He took the running option as the third option. Once again, you get the isolation routes to the outside, give your receiver a chance. Here, the design quarterback draw. Michael Vick on the perimeter. No one is bringing him down.
That's what happens when I take guys on the Monday Night Football bus.
That's right.
Every week, whoever I pick. Lights out.
Who we have next week?
San Diego, Denver. I'll give you a guess. From the 20, McNabb. Pocket collapses. That's incomplete. Stuart Bradley had hands on it and almost intercepted it.
One thing Andy Reid does from a philosophy standpoint is he drafts defensive linemen. He loves pass rush. He knows that's the key in winning football games in the fourth quarter. Keep an eye on Trent Cole, number 58. He's going up against a rookie tonight in Trent Williams. They drafted Brandon Graham, number 54, out of Michigan. They've got a lot of guys. They're 7 or 8 deep in Philadelphia, and now's a great time to rush the passer.
On 2nd and 10, McNabb in the hands of Chris Cooley. And Patterson almost had a rebound for his second pick, and Cooley is shaken up after that play. So the Redskins are hurting on the scoreboard and physically.
Well, Donovan looked outside to Anthony Armstrong. He slipped. He came back inside to Chris Cooley. You'll see him with that inside release. He gets matched against Ernie Sims. That should be a good matchup. And once again, you see another drop ball by the Washington Redskins.
Redskins are going to call a timeout here. They were trying to get the personnel straightened out with Cooley. They could not. Jamal Brown, the starting right tackle, was also injured earlier, so Washington trying to get organized. You know, it is strange to see trades within a division in any sport, really, because you're always afraid of that guy coming back to kill you, and you know that that guy knows your system inside out. The McNabb trade, which was announced on Easter Sunday, the Eagles getting a second-round pick, which turned into starting safety Nate Allen, who's out tonight, and a fourth, could be a third pick next year for Donovan McNabb, was so odd because, Jaws, it's 2 hours away. You've done this. The Eagles play Redskins. You take a bus. You come down. these teams know each other so well. It was really odd.
You know, I think it surprised a lot of people in Philadelphia. It surprised me. But, you know, when you look at Andy Reid, he doesn't care. He doesn't care what people think. You know, he went and got the best deal that he could for the Philadelphia Eagles. And obviously turned that pick into Nate Allen, who's been a starter as a rookie. But Andy doesn't care what other people think. He's going to do what's best for his football team.
He wanted to get the best compensation. You know, Buffalo was talked about it in the deal. Oakland, teams in search of quarterbacks. He wanted to do right by McNabb, a place where Donovan wasn't sent to Siberia in some ways. As he's pressured here, able to get away for a second. Find Williams a yard shy of the first down, and it's going to be fourth down, and Washington will kick the ball away.
But I still think you got to go back to Andy Reid when you're talking about Donovan McNabb playing for the Redskins. He met with Donovan. He wanted to do right by Donovan McNabb. Donovan McNabb wanted to play for the Redskins, and Andy Reid wanted compensation, certainly, but he has a lot of respect for Donovan McNabb and what he did for 11 years in Philadelphia. I think that's class, a lot of character and respect on Andy's part.
Deshaun Jackson here, John, on the punt return, trying to get to the edge and use that speed. Almost got the corner turn, just shy of the 40-yard line. He goes out of bounds. Your point on Andy is very well taken. It speaks a lot of why the people who play for Andy really enjoy and love the guy.
Well, put yourself in his shoes. He loved Donovan McNabb. They accomplished some great things.
Yeah, you think about quarterbacks and head coaches being together in their success. The most is a combo, Marina and Shula, 184 wins, and Bradshaw and Noel, and obviously maximizing that with the 4 rings. Hank Stram and Len Dawson, which led to championships. Jim Kelly and Marv Levy went to 4 Super Bowls, we know unsuccessfully in the end. And Dan Reeves and John Elway were together for 142 games. As were Andy Reid and Donovan McNabb. 5 NFC championship games made, 1 Super Bowl, losing to the Patriots. So it is truly a historical pairing in terms of length together, quarterback and head coach. And that's some of the deep roots tonight. Downfield to Jason Avant at the 37. First down, gain of 26 effortlessly.
This is where Michael Vick has improved his game. In the pocket. He doesn't break down. He doesn't panic. He looks left. He looks right. Again, he's looking for a pass, not a run. If he was in Atlanta, I guarantee you he was bolting from that pocket after he didn't get his number 1 receiver. Now he goes 1, 2, 3, finds the open receiver. What a guy this guy's done. Andy Reid of coaching him up, and James Urban, the quarterback coach, who works with Michael Vick in the offseason.
2-minute warning. Philadelphia looking for a 7th touchdown of a record-setting Eagles first half. Philadelphia Eagles have had a game of offense here in the first half. Nearly 420 yards and 42 points. Knocking on the door of some more NFL history with 2 minutes left and in Redskin territory at the Washington 36. Sean McCoy comes up the middle, slides under Rocky McIntosh's tackle at the 31.
But look at what they do to Albert Hainsworth. Watch right guard Nick Cole help out on Hainsworth. That gives Michael Vick just an instant longer to throw the football, but watch his full speed. Offensive line coach Juan Castillo, been with Andy Reid a long time. This whole Eagles staff has been with Andy Reid for a while, and continuity is a big part of their success.
From the 31, another shotgun run with McCoy. Trying to put the moves on, but Brian Orakpo is a very good defensive player out of Texas. 13th pick in the draft of 09. Made the tackle, gives us a timeout. A chance to remind you the Toyota halftime show is coming up. Chris Berman, Chris Mortensen, Adam Schefter for the fastest 3 minutes. How good was Tom Brady last night? The win over Pittsburgh. Morton Adam been burning up the blackberries on this whole McNabb deal. They'll dive into the details for it. And Miami with a short week playing Chicago on Thursday. We'll update the Chads at quarterback. And credit Tyler Thigpen, who came in and ended up helping Miami get that victory.
I like Tyler Thigpen. He's a mobile quarterback with a strong arm. He has some experience playing in Kansas City. I think he'll do an outstanding job.
I like this quarterback.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
I played against this guy when I was in Tampa all those years.
Yeah, how did you stop him?
He was never playing the overall game like he has right now.
Did you stop him? How many people did?
Oh, we had our day.
01-06 the time in Atlanta. A lot talked about Vic. Was not the first guy in, the last guy out. Didn't set the example. Here he's going to take a timeout. Washington took the earlier timeout, so Philly can take this one with 1:12 to go. We mentioned NFL history potential here on this drive. Go back to the 1983 Buccaneers, a poor team. Green Bay scored 49 in the first half. That's the NFL record. Philadelphia a chance to equal that here on this drive.
That 1983 Buccaneer team, the quarterback was Steve Young. I believe that was the Blizzard game, wasn't it, out in Green Bay?
It was, right?
I think I got a memory because my dad was a running back coach. And he didn't talk for a week. That's a humiliating feeling, especially on Monday Night Football when all your peers are watching. I do know the Redskins have a lot more pride than people think right now.
Well, they better show it.
Try to come up with a stop here. 3rd and 3. Jackson goes one way, McCoy the other, read by D'Angelo Hall, who's left the game twice banged up. Makes the play, and the Eagles will try about a 47-yard field goal. Washington out of timeout, so Philly can just take as much clock as they would like.
That's a good decision by the Eagles. Here's a guy, David Akers, coming on the field who struggled a little bit early. Missed multiple field goals against the Falcons, but he's back in a groove right now. You've seen him kick the ball off a lot tonight after touchdowns. This guy's one heck of a kicker.
He's rock solid and reliable.
From 48 yards. Sneaking it in and good. And 45-14 Philadelphia. With 25 seconds left. When we are done tonight,
24 hours moves today. Here we go.
Dickie V is ready to go with the coffee going. A whole bunch of great schools, some of the traditional college basketball powers. We have a marathon of college basketball, 21 games over 24-plus hours. Dickie V starts his 32nd season. You'll see 4 of the top 5, 14 of the top 25, both national champs, women and men in action. It's on ESPN and the family of networks. 1, 2, U, ESPN3.com, all beginning at midnight Eastern Time.
You know, one of the things about Andy Reid coach football teams, Mike, is they are a very good team in the second half of the season. And Jaws, you live there, you know that. His winning percentage in the second half of the season is uncommon. And the Eagles, they sure look good, like they're right on schedule for another second half of the season roll.
Yeah, Andy's one of those guys, you know, he tinkers early in the season. He looks for the right combination, the concepts that he wants to use. And boy, the second half of the season, he knows how to put his players in position to be successful.
Akers kicking in this rain shower that's been going on for the last hour. Brandon Banks the return. Brings it out shy of 25, 19 seconds, no timeouts for Washington.
You know, the only thing lacking in Andy Reid's resume is that Super Bowl championship. You know, he wins 2 out of every 3 games, a very successful coach, but he's never going to really be accepted in Philadelphia until he hoists that Vince Lombardi trophy. And the way they're shaping up right now, this might be the year.
Eagles trying to move into a tie for first with the Giants, hosting the Giants next week. You go figure out who the best team in the NFL is right now. Very hard to figure. Screen for Williams. Got 2 nice blocks, and Keelan Williams need to find a sideline here. And a good job to get to midfield and the sideline. Gain of 26 with 10 seconds and no timeouts. At least he gives you a chance to reprise what the Jaguars did yesterday.
And with no timeouts, this is a situation you cover in training camp every year from a defensive standpoint. You must defend the sideline. There will be no complete passes where the offensive player remains inbounds. Watch the corners at the top of the screen and down here at the bottom. They're going to make sure this ball isn't in play.
Nab was looking that way, and they covered exactly that, John. And the sack comes from Trevor Laws to close the half. Redskins get the ball to start the second half. Eagles with a record-setting performance in many ways. Toward the halftime.
Monday Night Football. The Eagles unleashed their raw power. All eyes were on Michael Vick. And the Redskins fight back, or will the Eagles soar? The Philadelphia Eagles versus the Washington Redskins on Monday Night Football. The division clash continues.
And perhaps the record setting will continue here just outside of D.C. at FedEx Field. 45 points scored by the Philadelphia Eagles. John Gruden, Ron Jaworski, Mike Tirico. That is the most scored in the first half of an NFL game by the road team in the history of the National Football League. So we really did see something we've never seen before. And I don't know what words best describe what the Eagles did offensively in the first 30 minutes.
Well, Andy Reid plays pedal to the metal football. He wants to get a quick lead. I don't even think Andy Reid expected this offense to be in sync like it was tonight and is tonight.
I really don't have anything to add to that. I know crowd noise isn't going to be a problem in the second half. I've never seen a team storm out of the locker room and avenge an earlier defeat.
Right.
The Redskins out-hit Philadelphia in Philadelphia earlier in that victory, and Philly came to play tonight.
David Akers' kickoff starts the third quarter. From the 6, in the rain, Brandon Banks. Akers waiting for him at the 45. Jamar Chaney also bringing him down as the rain gets heavier. The perspective on the quarterbacks in the first 30 minutes. Michael Vick became the first player in NFL history to throw for 3 and run for 2 in the first half. Entire history of the league. And Donovan McNabb in that second quarter had exactly 200 passing yards, a career high for any quarter. So he does that against his old team, albeit Pyrrhic in the performance for McNabb. Started with his team in a massive hole. Chris Cooley, the tight end, limped off in the first half. That's his first catch. Here's McNabb for the first half. Jaws?
Well, one thing about Donovan, he's going to keep battling and fighting, but his receivers have to help him, and he gets out on the edge. One thing about Donovan, you get him on the edge, you'll find someone open. Beautiful design of this play right here. You got the blitz, and he checked it down. This is just a good defensive play by Patterson. Joey Galloway never pushed him up the field. He undercut the route.
Dimitri Patterson with the interception. McNabb intercepted twice in that first half. Now lofting it sideline for the fullback, Sellers, on Moses Foku out of the backfield.
A spectacular throw by McNabb. He had the one-on-one, his fullback running up the sideline on Foku. Very little room to put this ball into, but Donovan puts it right on the hands of Sellers. Just a terrific throw by McNabb.
Yeah, if I'm Philadelphia right now on defense, no quick scores, just no big plays. I'm shocked that they've come out here and given up a couple big ones already.
Number 22, Keelan Williams, the run. A gain of about 9 yards for Williams. If you weren't with us at the start of the game, Clinton Portis is out again tonight, missing his 6th game after the torn groin muscle. And Ryan Terrain is active. Looked like he was going to start, but even in warm-ups could not get going with his hamstring injury. So Terrain has not seen the field. It's been all the rookie free agent out of LSU, 35, Williams. Got it again. And he's got Stewart Bradley, the middle linebacker.
You know, there's 2 areas with this Washington Redskin offense that have really been tough on them this year. Number 1 is their third down offense. And here we go with another third down. They were 0 for 6 in the first half. and they've really had a hard time getting touchdowns in the red zone. And those two areas have stymied Kyle Shanahan and his Redskin attack all season long.
McNabb in trouble. Keeps it alive and then has the pass blocked and knocked down by Darryl Tappan. It all started when Jaquay Parker just blew Stephon Hire, the right tackle, into McNabb's face.
Well, take a look at the right tackle, Hire, number 74. He just gets bull rushed, and McNabb has to abort the play and try to create. That's the 11th ball that Donovan McNabb has had batted back in his face. That's another problem for this Redskin attack, and they're going for it.
0 for 7 now on 3rd down. Those problems continue to plague them.
You see coming in, the 10 had him tied with the former Redskin quarterback, Jason Campbell. So add that one, makes it 11. 4th and 4, the Eagles bring pressure up the middle. McNabb responds to Armstrong. First down catch.
Nice play.
Trent Cole clean up the middle. Donovan just kept drifting back, and at the very last second, found Anthony Armstrong, and Armstrong reached out and did a terrific job of catching and holding on to this ball. As you see, McNabb under duress, and it looks like his hands were under the ball. That was a legal catch from this vantage point, and from that vantage point, forearm under the football. Eagles do dial up the pressure, though.
McNabb hit as he throws, incomplete. Santana Moss was slotting. McNabb getting hit on a regular basis. Trent Cole getting close here to a sack. And on this drive, you're seeing some of the weaknesses of the Redskins. But remember how pathetic this situation was. They won 4 games last year. This is not a very talent-rich team, to be very candid. You have guys like Santana Moss who are playing still at a good level. But you look at Armstrong out of the Arena League. He's a 27-year-old first-year player who works in here in the league. You're down to a rookie free agent at running back in Keelan Williams. So you're not talking talent like Jackson and McCoy and Macklin, all the guys on the other side for Philly. So this is step 1 of a process in Washington. McNabb got rid of it. There, the Ernie Sims tackle of the intended receiver, Keelan Williams.
Well, it's a screen play. Ernie Sims read it, tackled the screening back.
Holding defense, number 50. It's a 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Well, this is an area of the field, Mike, where your tight ends become critical. You know, you've got guys like Davis and Cooley. You've got to find a way to get them open. Design some plays to attack the defense.
Take a look at Ernie Sims, the weak side linebacker. He's going to see the screen, and he's going to tackle the back. That's one way to stop a screen.
That's right.
If he's trying to block you, you can't hit him and knock him, but you can't hold him like that. Bust the call, an automatic first down. Williams left, Sellers a block. Williams, touchdown.
Oh, there's that stretch play, and that's all Washington, the Redskins can do, is start the second half with a touchdown possession. Stretch play off the left side, nice job by Sellers. And a good finish by Williams.
And in that first matchup, that was the play that was very effective in Philadelphia. And the Redskins got out to a 14-0 lead based on that outside stretch play. But they just been out of this game where they can't just stay and try to sustain their offense with the running game.
Graham Gano adds the extra point. Down 24. The Redskins do what they needed to do, as you said on the opening drive. Go down the field and score. Beautiful dome, Capitol Hill, Washington, D.C. It was a beautiful weekend until it's about lunchtime today. It got gray and cloudy, and it's been raining all evening. Donovan McNabb, offensive coordinator Kyle Shanahan, 8 plays down the field. It's 21 on the board for Washington. Gano kicks to Jordan Calvin. from the 6. Fumble the football. And it bounced right back to him. It was that close to getting a bit more interested. Mike Sellers, the fullback, who had a big pass catch down the left sideline earlier, able to knock it out, and almost a desperately needed turnover for Washington. As we were going to break, both John and Jaws saw this and said, that's something there. Michael Vick grabbing Calvin, the returner, after that fumble. Just those leadership signs you get from your quarterback.
That's what you got to have to play that position at this level.
In the rain from the 29, Vick after an outstanding first half. Pressure. Heading out to his right. Deshaun Jackson couldn't hold it. Susie Colbert down on the field. Suze?
Mike, if the Redskins think they're going to get any relief in the second half, forget it. I asked Andy Reid at the half what his philosophy is, being up by this much, and he said, score more. But the Redskins came out of their locker room with their heads up. But Mike Shanahan almost seemed at a loss to explain a record-setting first quarter. After we had chatted for a while, he actually looked at me and said, do you have any ideas? And when I shook my head no, he said, if you come up with anything, would you let me know? So, John George, you got anything?
They have nothing. Second down and 10. You saw Deshaun Jackson after that play get shaken up. He's out as Vick throws complete to Avant inbounds. Ruled a catch by the official at the 49. Redskins say he was juggling. Here's the end of the play. Washington's already challenged once unsuccessfully.
That is a catch.
How about the throw? I mean, you throw a 20-yard bench route in a driving rainstorm. What else you want to see Vick do tonight, Ron?
Well, what he's done is stay in the pocket beautifully and let that play develop down the field. What's scary for teams on the Eagles' schedule right now, we all know how Michael Vick can run. But, man, the way he's playing the quarterback position, just remarkable.
Mike's going to challenge this one, challenge that it was a catch. This will be his last challenge, no matter the result, since they lost the first one. I don't know if he ever had control, if he ever had possession of that ball, because it went from his hands, slid on down there.
Washington is challenging the ruling of the field of a completed catch.
So we'll see if it's an Avant catch or not. 4 minutes into the third quarter. Yes or no, Jason Avant, did he make the catch? They are looking at it in replay, and we talk about these plays all the time. Watch this in real speed. Go ahead, call it quick. Did he have it? Did he have possession? Did he have control? Was he inbounds? Did his backside come down on the white before he had full possession of the ball and control as Landry was driving him? Did you see it all in the rain? We get really picky on these. How do the officials get these right or wrong? It is really hard to make those calls, and more often than not, they're right. And as we look at these things in super slow-mo with our Mac Zoom camera that we have on Monday nights, we lose appreciation for how good the officials are on these calls. John.
Sure do.
No matter what, this is the last challenge here for the Redskins because that first one was unsuccessful. So some of you who wonder how you use these challenges would say you don't challenge this play. Because if you're trying to get back in the game, what if there's a turnover in the third or fourth quarter? You don't have the ability to challenge it.
No, the Redskins need the ball right now.
Exactly.
So I agree with Mike Shanahan challenging it. It was right in front of him. But I don't know how you overturn this.
It would be 3rd and 10 if this is ruled incomplete. Here's Cleet Blackton.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. The player did control the ball, and his elbow came down in bounds. Washington will be charged with a timeout. They are out of challenges for the rest of the game.
Just look at the Philadelphia Eagles huddle on offense. The personnel keeps coming and going. 3 wides, 2 wides, 4 wides, multiple running backs, Harrison, McCoy. They're all over the place, and everything they call works.
Tonight, anyway.
Deshaun Jackson went down holding his hip 2 plays ago. He's back near midfield. Vick. Down the middle again. That ball is dislodged and ruled incomplete. LaRon Landry comes up with a big stick. Good to see Brent Selleck get up.
I'll take a look at it. It's a seam route to Selleck. He bends across the middle. Michael's a little bit late, and that's a nice break on the ball by LaRon Landry.
Got to make this catch, though. There's going to be contact. You know those safeties are converging. That's a catch that Selleck normally makes. But give some credit. LaRon Landry did knock it out.
Side handoff, McCoy bouncing it to the outside. Arakpo chases him down. Third down coming up.
John was talking about what a great coach Andy Reid is of quarterbacks. What I love is the fact that Michael Vick is now playing quarterback and going through this progression. Number 1, not there. Number 2, not there. Then he takes the running option for the touchdown. Once again, good balance, good vision. Number 1, not there. Look at number 2. He's covered as well. Now he finds number 3. This is the evolution of a quarterback that now understands coverage and stays in his reading progression and runs when it's the last option.
3rd and 5. 3-man rush. Vick. Perfect. Macklin. First down.
Also, no back set, guys. And they're rushing 3, and they're using LaRon Landry to spy on Michael Vick. Take a look at Landry, and just watch him study Michael Vick in the pocket. He's not going to take his eyes off number 7, and if Vick takes off running, Landry's going with him. But Michael Vick against this 3-man rush all day to throw the football. And once again, he's right on the money with his accuracy.
Now, this is like that 7-on-7 drill when there's no offensive or defensive lineman on the field in practice. Pitch and catch.
300-yard passing day night for Michael Vick. Biggs Landry brings him down hard after a gain of a couple of yards.
Michael Vick, somebody went the wrong way. It might have been Michael Vick.
It did look like the backs go to the left and Michael came out to the right.
Well, take a look at Landry. He's going to be unblocked. Coming down here on the strong side of the formation. Vick went the wrong way, and Landry makes him pay. But this Michael Vick, I've seen quarterbacks that can scramble and throw the ball away. I've seen quarterbacks that can scramble for first downs. When this guy scrambles, you hold your breath because he can score touchdowns. He's electrifying.
Timeout taken by the Eagles as the play clock was running down. Vick has his first 300-yard passing game since he did it against the Bucs in 05. Remember that, John?
You're killing me, man.
Yeah. Our aerial coverage tonight of the Redskins and the Eagles is brought to you by DirecTV. Rainy night and the blowout 28-0 first quarter has sent many of the patrons home. Hats off to those who are still here and still making noise, too, you know. They're into their Redskins. Bunch of Eagle fans here as well. After the timeout, Vick to Macklin's got a couple of blocks over here, but LaRon Landry's having a very good series. And he makes the tackle. And Andre Carter forcing third down. So we mentioned Michael Vick, over 300 passing yards. He's the 13th different quarterback to have 300 yards passing this week. That's the most in a single week in the history of the NFL. And remember, we had teams on a bye this week, 4 of them.
It's a passing league. It is a if you don't have a quarterback and receivers, you know, you can forget about all them 3 yards in the cloud of dust, man. You got to be explosive.
And McNabb's sitting at 247, so we may add one more to that list. Empty the backfield as Riley Cooper's a receiver. Redskins showing people offside on their way, and the flag's thrown. Delay a game from the back. The back judge is coming in and said he's got to delay a game first, maybe.
Prior to every movement by the defense, delay a game. Offense, number 7. It's a 5-yard penalty, still third down.
It's about the only mistake Michael Vick's made this evening. In fact, it is the only mistake he's made this evening.
You guys talked about it when you showed that series of highlights earlier on the 1-2-3, reading the progressions as Vick has become a more steady, comforted pocket passer. He used to be he would not see the first guy take off. use the athletic ability. You can see he's got an understanding of that and a comfort level with it, too, to trust it, which has led to that big first half.
Yeah, we'll get back to that, Mike, but I agree with you.
Halfway through the quarter, 3rd and 10. Redskins do bring 4. Pressure Vic got away from Alexander. He's over the line now, so he's got to run. He's got a first down. First and goal.
Right on cue, Mike. This is what you were talking about. He looked down the field. He looked down the field. He took the running option last. Michael Vick is going to survey the field. The pressure is going to come from his right. But once he sets up camp in the pocket, he knows the end came back inside. Now he gets out of the pocket. No contain on Michael Vick. But I love the fact that he looked to throw first. The last option was the run.
How do you not contain Michael Vick? You let this guy outside the pocket. It's painful to watch.
John, you had Alexander there. He couldn't tackle him. He's too quick. He's a better athlete.
First and goal from the 7. Now he's got time. Nobody open. Out of the pocket, throw it away.
You know, after spending an hour or so with Michael Vick last night, the thing that really amazed me is this guy's football aptitude. He's not running an offense for any kind of novice now. He's handling no back sets, check with knees at the line of scrimmage. They're running the read option. You see the Oregon Ducks running.
Right.
They have more screens than I had in the playbook in 10 years. There are 175 passes on this guy's wristband. He understands all of them. He is totally focused and committed on being a great quarterback and changing his life around.
McCoy runs to the 3-yard line.
He's made that commitment in the offseason as well. And I think that's the biggest difference. The maturity, spending the time in the offseason, getting himself in great shape. That's the first thing he did. Then learning this offense. All offseason working on the drills, the bags thrown at him, the movement skills, to stay on balance. All those things that are such an integral part of playing championship-type quarterback. The athletic ability's always been there.
Eagles run some new personnel on there late as they change their defensive look for 3rd and goal. Vick keeping the play alive. Going to find someone in the back. Touchdown Avant. Wow. Touchdown pass 4.
Somebody get me his autograph. This guy is on fire. Not even a driving rainstorm can cool this guy off. What poise back there. He senses the rush. There is none. He looks left. He pumps it. He looks right. He pumps it. He scrambles to his right. His eyes remain downfield the entire time. Michael Vick has thrown 13 passes in the previous 3 seasons, Jaws. Incredible performance tonight.
You saw Avant's heel come down, but doesn't matter. They're out of challenges. Can't challenge it anyway. Akers adds his 7th extra point. Extraordinary night for the Eagles, orchestrated by number 7. Look at those numbers. 397 total yards, 6 touchdowns. I was reminded by someone up here that I have somebody in my fantasy league who's playing against Michael Vick, so I can check his point total. 59 fantasy points in the ESPN Fantasy League in this game. That's more than some teams score. And it is like a video game or a fantasy football type game watching this Eagles offense here tonight. 52 points, and we still have 20 minutes to go. Kickoff is short. Mike Sellers fielding it and taking it to the 30-yard line.
Well, Michael Vick in the pocket, just beautiful. The poise, nothing bothering. The eyes downfield, movement, try to allow someone to uncover. And then the laser throw between 2 defenders. Now you see him once again. I love a quarterback being on balance. Always downfield, always in a position to throw, always bouncing, good knee flex, and then just, I'm going to call him Michael Flick from now on. I mean, he just flicks this thing in there for a touchdown. And this is a tight window to squeeze it into to Avant.
McNabb a first down run with Keelan Williams.
When you go back and watch Albert Hainsworth on that,
Yeah, I was just going to say it.
Yeah, you got to get up off the ground and stay alive and chase this guy.
Yep.
And the scoreboard doesn't matter when you play Michael Vick. He will wear you out. But, you know, just take a look at it yourself. You know, And I realize it's a tough night and it's a rainy night, but you're down on the ground. You have to get up, and you got to continue to chase Michael Vick. The play's still going on.
Yep.
And that's not good to put that on tape. It's on television.
33, McNabb chased, throws it away, didn't get to the line of scrimmage, but Cooley was nearby. They'll rule him ineligible close enough, so there's no grounding.
Yeah, let's give some love to that Eagles offensive line while we focus on Michael Vick, because they are giving him time. Let's take a look at this. As you'll see, he looks to his left, looks to his right. No one near him. No one even near Michael Vick. Finally, to release the ball, almost 8 seconds. That is just ridiculous. Offensive line, hey, great job, guys. Juan Castillo's happy with that one.
0 for 7 on third down. 0 for 8. Interception. Dimitri Patterson all the way home.
That is stealing.
This is what the Eagles do. This is what their corners do. They know when the pressure's coming. The ball has to come out quickly.
Ron, this is 60 points. It's a double A gap blitz, and they don't come. The two linebackers do not blitz. They bring heat off the edge. McNabb gets rid of it. Look, these linebackers don't blitz, but you're going to see another blitz come off the right side and the left side. McNabb throws it without seeing, and Patterson just squatted and saw it the whole way. A lot of these Philadelphia blitzes are not man coverage. It's that read cover 2 blitz system that Jim Johnson has made famous here, and Sean McDermott just put an exclamation point on this performance tonight.
In 1954, the Redskins went to Cleveland and lost 62-3. They haven't given up this many points since then. There's still 20 minutes of game left.
I'll tell you, we came here and an arena game broke out tonight. There's score all over the place.
59-21. Well, we've got a Saturday college football matchup with significance. Ohio State taking on Iowa, and the Buckeyes must win that one to remain in contention for the Rose Bowl. Terrell Pryor and Ricky Stanzi, the quarterbacks. You'll see it 3:30 Eastern Time, Saturday from Iowa City on ABC. The 59 points, guys, as mentioned before, this is Monday Night Football game 637, over 41 seasons now. The most points one team has ever scored on a Monday night. The Colts had a 55-point game. That was the Halloween game, 1988, against the Denver Broncos.
This has been Halloween for the Redskins tonight. I'll tell you, that kid right there, Dimitri Patterson, I mentioned it earlier. He came in last week in his first start. Reggie Wayne, Peyton Manning, all those weapons the Colts, and he played one heck of a football game. You know, he's a 5-year vet, been around, got a good hip turn, can drive the ball, tackles well in the open field. Well, you put him in, the guy we haven't even talked about, Asante Samuel, a whole lot, who's like an interception machine. Those two corners now, well, they can make some thefts out there at the corner.
We want to kick off coverage to review, and the Eagles look back at the tape of this one. Akers all the way through, and it is a touchback. Mike Shanahan came here to kind of clean up what was a mess after the couple of years of Jim Zorn. 5 years, $35 million. Mike was given the title of head coach and executive vice president. Man who's won a couple of Super Bowls. Was the offensive coordinator for one of the great offenses before the Elway Broncos. Those San Francisco 49er teams with Steve Young culminated in a Super Bowl. Mike, a real great play caller. And the Denver thing ended very quickly and very suddenly. Year out of coaching and comes here. And at 4-3, it looked like a foundation was being laid. McNabb to Cooley. First down at the 31 for Chris. You know, guys, and then you get to the fourth quarter of that game against the Lions, and they make mistakes. McNabb gets pulled. Grossman comes in, and Ndamukong Suh takes the fumble of the sack for a touchdown. They're 4-4, going to buy all the stuff about benching McNabb. And all of a sudden, this Redskins getting back to something acceptable changed. And after tonight, Redskin fans are going to be wondering, what now? Cooley, the catch for 36.
Mike, remember, they won 4 games last year and lost 12. You know, they've still got a ways to go to be a playoff competitive football team. They have some components in place, but they still have a long way to go. Mike Shanahan knows how to build a football team. Bruce Allen knows how to build a football team. It's going to take time, and it's going to take some patience.
Mentioned Bruce Allen. He's general manager of this team. Son of the Hall of Famer George Allen. He worked with you, John, in Oakland and Tampa Bay, building those teams since McNabb's pass is incomplete. You start looking at this roster. You remember back to George Allen's days, the over-the-hill gang. The Redskins had a lot of veteran players, older players. There are a lot of veteran, older players on this team as they try to salvage a team that had really been run down the last couple of years.
Well, they hired a quality coach. No matter what anybody says, check Mike Shanahan's track record. They just re-signed a quality quarterback. Check McNabb's track record. That's a start in the right direction. But this offensive line is rebuilt every year. They do have some guys on defense that can play, but they are converting to a 34 defense. They have a long ways to go, but they'll get there.
Movement there.
Delay game. Offense.
Delay first, big part.
So third down.
We're talking about the veteran players who are still here. 30 or older, they have the third most in the league. 15 of their current players, and you take the 53-man roster. 15 were first-round draft picks, several in other places brought in here. You know, the Jets have more first-round picks on their roster.
And this is a haven for free agents. You know, they brought in a lot of blue-chip, high-profile free agents. They just have to hope that Donovan McNabb can make it happen here. Remember, Bruce Smith, Deion Sanders, Jeff George, a litany of high-profile free agents have come here. They need McNabb to take off here.
Penalty made it 3rd and 10. McNabb is thrown to the ground by Jaquay Parker. His 5th sack, and that makes it 5 sacks in each of the last 5 seasons for the 10th-year man out of Oklahoma State.
And once again, the Redskins have yet to convert a 3rd down to a 1st down. Toomey 3rd and long situations. McNabb has no chance on this play as Parker comes right up the middle. Easy sack on Donovan McNabb.
I might get Donovan out of here at this point in time.
Hunter Smith kicking. Deshaun Jackson was back there. They'll let it go. Penalty marker down. Back at the line of scrimmage as it's touchdown over at the 30.
During the kick, holding, receiving team number 34. That penalty will be enforced 10 yards from the end of the run. 1st down, Philadelphia.
So McNabb and the Eagles offense. Watch Vic and company come back. You know, guys, we are marveling at the great on-field performance of Michael Vick, and we should. This is extraordinary stuff he's doing here tonight, historic stuff. You know, there's some people who were rooting against Michael Vick when he got out of jail after the dogfighting charges and all that stuff. And he was 18 months ago in prison. And, you know, it's a very personal thing. Whatever you at home feel, that is your right. You know, some people forgive. Some people want to see a second chance. So you know, you watch this, and you understand people are watching it, and they're not pulling for Michael Vick. But just watching what the individual has done, coming back from being out of football and in a jail 18 months ago, back into society, into this league, and performing at a record-setting performance here tonight is certainly of note, something to watch. As Jerome Harrison, 26 yards to the 46-yard line. Eagles over 500 yards here tonight. And I talk about Vic in the record-setting performance. Here it is, guys. History of the NFL again. One game, nobody's thrown for 300 or more, run for 50 or more, had 4 or more touchdown passes, 2 or more touchdown runs. And this is all in 3 quarters.
And I tried to tell both of you guys.
He was in the bus.
Starship 7. That's his nickname. This is a guy that we all know what he's been through. But where he is now is a totally different place than Michael Vick has ever been before.
Up the middle run for LaShawn McCoy.
And you're right, Mike. There's a lot of people that'll never forgive Michael Vick. What he did, what he was accused of doing was horrible. But I really compliment Andy Reid for helping Michael Vick up. Andy's had personal tragedy with his son and his family, and he's helping not only his own kid, but he's helping Michael Vick come back. And boy, have they come back. And it really chokes me up. I love to see guys get up, brush themselves off, and become great. And if Michael Vick can do this, man, we can do a lot ourselves, Jaws.
Big hands to Harrison again into Redskin territory. You talked about Andy Reid's sons. Two of his children, Britt and Garrett, were both in prison in similar times that Vic was in jail. And during that time, Andy went to visit his boys in jail and got to understand some of the culture of the people who were incarcerated, and understands that there are multiple phases to coming out of dealing with that. And some guys never get to that third phase where he felt Vic was as he went along the way. And that was the phase of, I screwed up, I made a mistake, nobody else is to blame, but I will never let this happen again to me. And once you get to that phase, Andy feels, and he saw it with his sons as they went through it, you can help people. And that was part of the connection here as that pass is caught by Owen Schmidt. And it's ruled down, so a first down. That was part of the connection Andy felt with Michael Vick. That was Donovan McNabb saying, you know what, I've known him for 13 years. We can help him. And Jeffrey Lurie, the owner, saying, you know what, let's investigate it. We're going to take a hit here, a PR hit at home, but we feel we're the only organization that can handle it. So others may have, but that's what they felt going in. And you know what, right now, it's all worked.
Yeah, and you got to give some positive thoughts to Jeffrey Lurie and Joe Banner. It was a risk. You know, I live in the Philadelphia area. It was not well received at the time, but I think people deserve a second chance. Michael Vick has taken advantage of that second opportunity.
Harrison runs to the right to the 39-yard line. And, you know, we talked about Andy Reid and some of that conversation he had. Credit Steve Sable from NFL Films, who has done a great job, he and his dad, over the years with their work documenting the NFL. NFL Films Presents is a show we've watched for many years. And Steve did a sit-down with Andy that you got to know Andy Reid's personality more than the bland vanilla press conferences he gives in Philly. And it was great. It gave you a little insight into a guy you don't see very much of.
Yeah, those people in Philly, if you haven't seen that piece, you got to see it. Get to know Andy Reid. You'll really like and love the guy.
Put your arm around him.
End of 3 on a record-setting night in D.C. The Eagles by 38. And off we go to the fourth quarter. Mike Tirico, John Gruden, Ron Jaworski, Susie Colbert, our Monday Night Football crew. 59-21. You know, it was just 3 weeks ago when the Raiders beat Denver, and that was 59 points scored in the first 3 quarters by the Raiders. It was 59-14 after 3. That was a record for points scored by a road team in the first 3 quarters, an NFL all-time record. And 3 weeks later, the Eagles have equaled that, 59 here tonight. Big handing to Jerome Harrison. He's going to lose 2 yards.
You know, this Eagle running game, they're in the top 5 in pro football. And I go back to that guy right there. They have over 500 yards of offense rushing this year from a non-running back. Vic has about 350 himself. Kevin Cobb has 50. Deshaun Jackson and Jeremy Maclin run the ball on reverses. And defending the Eagles' two-headed monster now, the running game, the versatility of a Michael Vick with all these formations and threats at wide receiver, they're going to be a handful down the stretch.
This is 3rd and 8, a 3-man rush, and Vick is nearly intercepted through the hands of D'Angelo Hall.
You know, Deshaun Jackson has caught 1 pass. It was the first play of the game for 88 yards.
And that was it?
That was it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Would you like to see a little more production?
You know,
I mean, what are you complaining about it or what?
Maybe I'm thinking the Redskins have done a good job of taking him away.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah,
play.
sure. Yeah. Terrific.
Yeah.
Former Australian rules football player, Sav Rocca, the 36-year-old. Thanks, will fair catch it. Brandon's got it 16. Minute into the fourth quarter. The college hoops marathon start pretty soon. Back at FedEx Field, 59-21. McNabb remains in the game for the Redskins. And Keelan Williams carries around the left side for 11 yards and a first down. Ron?
You know, the Redskins, with McNabb, he's had a trouble historically with those A-gap blitzes. You'll see him right here. You see the Eagles lined up in those A-gaps, but they come from the outside as those inside backers drop out. Hence, you get the interception on the quick read. They were talking to Stuart Bradley, Eagle linebacker. He was saying, historically, we've seen Donovan struggle with those A-gap blitzes. So they were prepared for a weakness of Donovan's game.
On the 26 here is Williams. 4 to the 30.
Speaking of Stuart Bradley, that's a nice form tackle by the big fella who's back from a serious injury last year. I like these Philadelphia Eagle middle linebackers. Take a look at him. Keep his eyes on the ball. He gets over the top, gets rid of the center, makes a good tackle. But these Eagles, remember Levon Kirkland, how big he was?
Big.
Then Jeremiah Trotter.
Bigger.
This guy, Stuart Bradley, 6'4", almost 260 pounds. He intimidates people.
There is McNabb. Complete to Santana Moss on the sideline. Moss leading this team in receptions. Kurt Coleman with another tackle.
Yeah, but Moss has been invisible tonight. That's an area, if you look at the Redskins, they've got to improve that wide receiving core. It looks like Anthony Armstrong is going to be a guy that can give you that speed down the field, but they're going to need some help. They got McNabb signed, at least for a few years. They got to give him a better supporting cast.
McNabb throws it complete to Roydell Williams. Just the third catch this year for the guy out of Tulane in his fourth year.
One thing about this Eagle defense, they've got 6 new starters out here, Jaws, and they totally revamped that side of the ball. 13 out of the 27 players from last year's defense are gone. Look out here. You see a lot of different guys playing key positions. You have to tip your hat to these Eagles and their scouting department.
Darrell Young, who earlier scored a touchdown on his first NFL touch, rolls through Kurt Coleman.
There's Kurt Coleman, 4-year starter out of Ohio State. Now he's playing with the big boys as a rookie, 7th-round draft choice. There's a full-speed tackle. Take a look at this back home. How about the size of this back? Earn your money playing in this league.
McNabb for Williams. Nearly intercepted by Patterson. We talk about the players on this defense of Philadelphia. Their coordinator is 36-year-old Sean McDermott. Placed the late Jim Johnson last year. The Indianapolis game was a big win and brought up the memory of Jim Johnson because they had gone up against Peyton Manning a couple of times and they extra blitzed Manning and finally were able to get a win over a depleted but still a win over Manning and the Colts team.
Well, we talked about that, Mike. John and I talked about it. We talked about it with Sean yesterday. They blitzed him 22 times in the game. You can go through a month and watch Colt offense and not see that many blitzes, and it was effective.
Out of the gun, here's a run by Darrell Young, or rather Williams, I beg your pardon. And Williams going to go all the way for another touchdown.
Who is this guy?
Keelan Williams, who was, when he came out of high school, John, the number 3 running back in the nation out of Louisiana, went to LSU, had 17 touchdowns to the Bayou Bengals, undrafted free agent.
It's a 4-week blitz. And they just sting Philadelphia. We said that coming in here tonight. You can beat some of these Eagle blitzes with the running game. If you find numbers and you run away from the blitz, you can outflank these Eagles. You got to give Williams credit. He's taking advantage of his playing time tonight.
How about these Eagles? It's 59-21, and they're still bringing the blitzes.
The extra point. Williams, 3 touchdowns tonight. 2 running, 1 receiving. Terrific. Well, here are the numbers these guys have put up tonight. Michael Vick, who I believe his night is done. Think we're going to get Kevin Cobb here. 403 total yards, 6 touchdowns. McNabb approaching 300 yards and 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. here on the night. And it looks like Washington's going to onside kick, down 31.
Wow. Yes, they are.
Must have 4 on each side of the kicker. They move everybody around and just go through the exercise and kick it deep. And a touch back to the 20 Sports Center right now. And here's Trey Wingo.
All right, Michael, thank you. Some baseball news for you. Giants catcher Buster Posey won the NL Rookie of the Year award, helping lead the Giants to their first championship since 1954 and their first as the San Francisco Giants. Rangers closer Neftali Feliz won the AL award after setting a rookie record with 40 saves. And don't forget, College Hoops Tip-Off Marathon comes after the game is over, or the Score Fest. Reggie Johnson in Miami taking on Memphis. That comes up next whenever the scoreboard gives out where you guys are.
Shortly. Vic will stay out for another drive here. Jerome Harrison is the back. And Vic completes it to Deshaun Jackson, who fumbled the football. And Owen Schmidt hustles to it and gets it.
You know, Mike, to become a great quarterback in this league, you got to work on your game. And Michael Vick's been working on his game. Let's go back to Virginia Tech, and you'll see this hop in the pocket. This is a young quarterback with great talent, but doesn't understand the mechanics of playing the position. Now, look how upright he is. There's no flex in his knee. He's just up on his toes. Look at him now. Look at how his back feet plant. A nice little setup. Now he gets his feet under him. You see the knee flex. You see the vision downfield. This is a quarterback in position now to throw the football. He's doing the little things to make himself great, and it starts with mechanics.
Harrison the carry to the 40.
I'd take either one of those Michael Vicks. I'll take the Vic I saw at Virginia Tech. You're so critical of quarterbacks.
That was a positive piece, John.
This guy knew what his weaknesses were. He sat around. He defined what they were. Fundamentals, I agree with you, in the pocket.
Thank you.
But this guy here runs 4.29 coming out of Virginia Tech. He's in an offense now that accentuates the pass. This is a totally different scheme than he ran at Virginia Tech. Totally different than the Falcons scheme. He's bought in, and it's paid off.
There are still mechanics that you have to execute properly, be consistent week in and week out. Thank you.
2nd and 4 here is Harrison. Runs for 3. I was curious, on first down, they were throwing the ball. It was a 31-point game. Run the ball, let the clock move, and let's all go home.
Well, Ron wanted Deshaun Jackson to get another catch.
Oh, is that it?
What do you think? I'm calling the plays? Yeah, I'd like to with all these weapons.
You know, I've been in these situations, though, guys, where you say, why is Vic still in the game?
Right.
Yeah.
You know, I tried to pull Rich Gannon out of some games. He said, you take me out of this game, I'll kill you. This is the most enjoyable time there is for a quarterback, and you know this, Ron, to be out there in the huddle with your teammates after a long week of practice and a very solid victory. You relish these times.
I don't know. I've never been ahead by 31 in 17 years.
You know what I'm saying.
3rd and a yard. This is Elder Buckley getting a run. He gets the first down. Remember, when we visited with Peyton Manning in Indianapolis, Peyton missed one significant snap over his time. It ended up being a fumble. Mark Rippon was the backup quarterback. Came in, Rippon fumbled the football. Peyton said, that's it. I'm not coming out of a game again. So it is like begging to try to get the backup in with Indy as you watch Kevin Cobb, who was the starter, lost the job after he got hurt in the opener against Green Bay, filled in for Vic, did so admirably. You saw his numbers there. But, you know, I give Andy Reid credit for this season, guys. When he watched Vic finish against Green Bay and look like a different guy against Detroit the next week, he said, you know what? You can lose your job if you're injured because this guy's better. Harrison, the first down.
Well, you know, Michael Vick was out of football the entire 2007 season. Then he's out of football the entire 2008 season. He threw 13 passes in the 2009 season. He's missed a few games this year because of injury. Andy Reid wants this guy to get it all the way back. And it's hard to say how far he has to go to get there. But I like what Jerome Harrison has done to give the Eagles another back to go to. Very similar in size to LaShawn McCoy. They've got a nice 1-2 punch going in this backfield as well.
And there goes Harrison. to the 36-yard line.
There's a lot of tools in this toolbox for the Philadelphia Eagles, but the one thing that is consistent is their overall speed at the skill positions. This is the fastest team in the National Football League. They strike fear into the hearts of the secondary.
Right now, they're just coming off, and they are pounding the Washington Redskins. They're closing in on 600 yards, Mike.
I'm here, too.
Jaws. That's 2 games for me.
581 here tonight. When you throw up 59 points and nearly 600 yards, Delta Buckley carries for a couple of yards, you start to enter the conversation. And it is a great unanswerable question. You can have polls, you can have debate. Who's the best team in each conference right now? Atlanta with another home win over Baltimore on the short week. They're 7-2. Giants lose. The Bears never look great, but they're 6-3. Saints have been quiet coming off their bye. They get Reggie Bush back, hopefully. Green Bay go through its injuries at 6-3. The Buccaneers, who have they beaten, you might ask? Well, the people on their schedule that you counter at 6-3, and the Eagles will join that group here tonight.
Are we going to vote on this later?
Knock yourself out, pal. You got a pick. Go ahead.
All right. I like these guys in the green helmets with those wings on the side right now.
You take a timeout as the play clock was running down. 5:55 in the fourth. Until the Eagles got their wild start to this game, nobody had a more eye-opening offensive performance than the Broncos here in Week 10. The 49-29 win over the Chiefs. Kyle Orton throwing for nearly 300. And a rushing and passing touchdown from Tim Tebow. So we'll see another lefty next Monday night. And that list of all-time great lefty quarterbacks is not very long. Not many in the history of the league. Jerome Harrison goes to the left and loses a couple of yards. Talk about Tim Tebow, and the package continues to expand for Josh McDaniels. First-round pick.
How about this, Jaws? Tim Tebow.
I'm watching, John.
He gets in the huddle. He starts to run. He is running. Touchdown, Broncos. Now he starts to run, and he throws it. Josh McDaniels.
You like Tim Tebow?
I like this guy. I like what he's about. I like Kyle Orton, too. I like what Denver does on offense. They need a win next week.
You like Michael Vick?
Starship 7.
You like Steve Young?
I like a lot of guys.
I got you to say that you like 3 lefty quarterbacks.
Yeah, good job, Mike. Good job.
Hey, how come there's no left-handed shortstops? How come there's no left-handed catchers?
Well, you can't name 10 left-handed quarterbacks. Jaws.
Philly took a timeout there. I bring that up, John. There's a little bit of a step. John likes to talk about it. It's very hard for lefty quarterbacks. You don't see a lot of lefty quarterbacks. Well, Michael Vick in the history of the league is number 7 on the list of all-time left-handed quarterbacks. And NFL Network did a show that NFL Films produced on the top 10 lefty quarterbacks of all time. We were wondering who else they were going to get because the list is so thin, so small. And there you have the all-time leaders, Boomer, and 3 of them are in the house tonight. Boomer Esiason doing the national radio. Steve Young, of course, with us. And there was Steve and Michael Vick talking before the game. Steve has often been brought in to talk to Michael about being a lefty and a scrambler. 3 of them here tonight.
You know, we saw Michael Vick there, and he was speaking with Marty Morningwig, kind of a guy that loves working with Michael Vick and designing this offense, installing and calling, and boy, there he is right there. And Marty's done a heck of a job with this offense. He got that play sheet stuffed in his pocket there, and like I said, they may be sending that play calling sheet to Canton after this one. This is what an amazing job that coaching staff did tonight for the Eagles.
How would you like to install plays with Michael Vick?
I'd love to.
After a couple of flags there, one for delay of game, Banks fair catches it with 4.5 to go. 59-28, Philadelphia. I remind you that SportsCenter, the GMC postgame show with Stuart Scott, Steve Young, Matt Millen here at the stadium, postgame reaction from the coaches and everything else. That's coming up after the game. Time permitting, it'll start here on ESPN. At midnight or so, it'll migrate over to ESPN2 as we get our college hoops marathon started. Look at this guy on the left. Which is the real Andy Reid? Well, notice one thing there. The guy on the left has a pizza menu. That's a food menu. He's got like a gourmet pizza, $9.95 for the 10-inch. How about that guy, huh? Here's McNabb.
Losing it, man.
Complete to Santana Moss for the first down at the 23-yard line. Funny stuff. Not for the Redskins here tonight.
Yeah, unfortunately for them.
Not for the Redskins. Now Donovan McNabb will go 1-1 against his old team. It was a very sweet moment for McNabb to beat Philadelphia that first time around in Philly. And it's been talked about very often, the career of McNabb in Philly. The 5 championship games, the 1 Super Bowl. Williams going to lose yardage here. You think about it, guys. Remember that draft where he was booed when the Eagle fans didn't want McNabb?
No. I'll interrupt you there. Not that they didn't want McNabb. They wanted Ricky Williams.
Well,
and I think that's always been misunderstood.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. He got booed before he got in.
All right.
And then he left and came back and got cheered when he returned as a Redskin. And I thought that was a great moment by the Eagle fans, acknowledging the 11 years where there were lots of boos and cheers along the way. You both have lived the life of being in Philadelphia as an Eagle. Jaws playing there, and John is an offensive coordinator.
Greatest sports town in America.
McNabb throws for Williams. John, incomplete.
You know, when I was the offensive coordinator of the Eagles, Ray Rhodes was the head coach. We were going to get Mark Brunell in a trade with the Green Bay Packers. We had 3 second-round draft choices. Andy Reid got McNabb. I don't care what you say about Ricky Williams. Andy Reid got McNabb.
Drafted him, right?
Then he got Cobb. Now he has Vic. I was going to get Brunell.
Who'd you
But
get?
at the end of the day, we didn't get the trade done. He went to Jacksonville, and they drafted me Dave Barr. That's why me and Ray Rhodes aren't in Philadelphia anymore.
That's why you're here. That's right.
They got him with ESPN.
Williams running to the 32-yard line. Keelan Williams with a 3-touchdown, over 100 total yard night.
You know, if this game would have started in the second quarter, we'd have a heck of a game right here.
Well, this is the kind of game, if you're Mike Shanahan, there's a good chance you take a look at it yourself. You take a look at it with your coaches. And when the players come in Monday, you might just burn it and move on with the season. Because nothing has gone well tonight other than a few plays by Donovan McNabb. They are shell-shocked tonight.
They did not make a third down. 0 of 10. And they will not get this punt off either, as they were thinking about what they were going to do on 4th and 1. And they didn't want to leave them down there. They could easily walk in and go for 60 points, for whatever that's worth.
All right, you, Mike. They came in 31st, converting only 24% of their third downs and 0 for 10 tonight. I'm sure after tonight they'll be dead last in third down conversions.
Well, Ron, I've got them the last 3 games as 4 of 37, if my math is right, on third down conversions. And, you know, third down depends how long it is, but third down conversions are all about sustaining offense.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, the one thing, their defense is at fault for letting Philadelphia hit all those big plays, but the offense couldn't keep Philadelphia's offense off the field. Calvin will let it bounce. And it's out of bounds inside the 20. And we spend a moment with Trey Wingo.
Michael, thank you. A very college basketball-like score in that football game. But don't forget, coming up, it's our college hoops tip-off marathon. 19th ranked Memphis taking on Miami of Florida. That's coming up at midnight. Next, right after the game, you're watching concludes.
All right, 21 games over 24-plus hours. There's a 6 a.m. game with Stony Brook at Monmouth. Both national champs. The Duke men, Mike Krzyzewski, Gino Auriemma's UConn women. Number 1 UConn hosting number 2 Baylor. That's coming up in this college hoops marathon that begins in a matter of moments. Michael Vick out, Kevin Cobb in. So Vick's record-setting night is done. Over 300, over 50 rush yards, 4 touchdowns thrown, 2 run. Buckley run, shy of the first down. And here comes the 2-minute warning. Philadelphia Eagles have never had this many yards. A team record in total yards tonight. A record-setting night on many fronts for the team in green. If this score holds, and I'm confident it will, the Giants and the Eagles will be tied for the division lead, both 6-3. And the Giants still have to see the teams you're seeing tonight a couple of times. So we'll have the Eagles and the Giants meeting at Lincoln Financial Field on Sunday evening. Both teams 6-3, 1-1 in the division. Meantime, the Redskins will drop to 4-5, and they go to Tennessee to see Chris Johnson, Randy Moss, and company. It'll be Vince Young. Kerry Collins out for a while with an injury. Redskins still face the Giants twice as well this year.
You know, Kevin Cobb is in there now at quarterback. You know, started the season as a starter. I still believe, and I know a lot of people in the Eagle organization believe he's got a bright future in the National Football League. You know, he had 4 starts, and in 2 of those 4 starts, he was the Offensive Player of the Week in the NFL. So he has played well when given the opportunity. But the way Michael Vick has been playing, there's a reason this guy is backing him up right now. But this guy, Kevin Cobb, can play the game.
3rd and a yard. Eldred Buckley over the top gets the first down, which should just about do it. Oh, it's been done a long time, but it'll end the game.
Yeah, all Philadelphia has to do now is take a knee, Mike. And they're going to leave here with back-to-back victories and really impressive films to watch. When you sit down and watch the Philadelphia Eagles beat the Indianapolis Colts, all 3 phases. And tonight, they came in here ready to go, and it's a credit to Andy Reid, this organization.
This is the 2nd most points the Eagles have scored in a game. Their most was 62 back in 1934, or 64. In 1934, they beat the Cincinnati Reds by the score of 64-0. It was such a bad loss that the Reds were kicked out of the league.
I didn't know all
they
this.
defaulted. Steve Hurt, who does a great job with all of our stats, in addition to the rest of our crew. Steve digging this one up. The Reds defaulted in their funding after that, so they had to bring in an independent team from another league to finish the schedule for the Reds that year.
I would have never guessed that.
No, and you'll never hear that again, probably.
I hope not.
A record-setting night for the Philadelphia Eagles as Donovan McNabb, on a day he signs a contract extension that for at least the short term will keep him here in Washington. The deal 5 years if it's reached in its entirety. He and Michael Vick have known each other since back in 1997. Vick went to Virginia Tech. He hugs former Virginia Tech Hokie D'Angelo Hall. And Michael and Donovan meet again. Record-setting night for Michael Vick, and Donovan McNabb spent a lot in his life, and Michael Vick was incredible on the field here tonight. 59-28 our score. With John Gruden, Ron Jaworski, Susie Culver, our entire team. Mike Tirico, good night from FedEx Field. See you next week when the Broncos in charge.